Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Voyage, Captain Venom, Parasitic Nami at the beginning. Chapter 81. Khalifa entered the suite wearing exquisite makeup and high heels. Mr. Venom, ladies, do you want to go shopping today? Khalifa asked kindly with a professional smile when she came to Venom. Venom smiled and said, "We are ready to leave today. I will trouble Miss Khalifa this week." It should. Really, Mr. Venom's name has already spread far and wide on the sea. I also heard that Mariajoy intends to use the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea to win over Mr. Venom. It's amazing. Khalifa finished speaking. The Venom pirates all looked shocked on the surface, but in fact they had been waiting for a long time. It's not that Venom cares about the title Shichibukai, but he laments that CP9 is really a professional team. So able to hold back. What, boss, can we join the Shichibukai? Why haven't I heard about what happened when? Boss, what should we do now? Faced with the surprise of the crew, Khalifa felt a flash of pride in his heart. Did the seemingly indestructible Venom pirates finally encounter something that made them pay attention? Venom does not directly struggle with this issue. By the way, Miss Khalifa, I also have news about you. What news? How about you change your job and come to my ship? Venom looked at Khalifa and said. In fact, if Venom hadn't already known Khalifa's identity, after getting along with her for a week, he would only think that she is a smart and capable professional expert. It goes without saying in terms of ability. Comes with Marine 6 styles, and can be considered a master in the early stage. Therefore, if Khalifa can be pulled onto the ship and trained in the system, the combat effectiveness of the entire pirate group can be increased. The key is to activate the system and obtain new rewards. Since no new members have joined, Venom has not received the reward from the system for a long time. When you meet talents, you should try to seize them. Khalifa was surprised. Ah, how is that possible? I'm Boss Bingshan's secretary, and I've always done a good job. She never expected that Venom would invite her on board. However, Khalifa doesn't care about the identity of Iceberg's secretary at all, but she will not give up her identity as CP9 easily. She has made infinite efforts to get out of this position and get a job in the public family. The process is really not easy. Moreover, if you want to exit CP9, it is basically impossible. Because behind that is Mariajoy, the pinnacle of power in this world. It is easy to enter an organization, but difficult to get out. Khalifa people don't have that life to get out alive. There are many poor people on the sea. Their fate is to let the sea breeze give them a direction and then drift with the tide. Khalifa has never considered herself lucky. She has no choice. Just the secretary. I just told you some news. At this moment, Venom is no longer the pirate captain who has been doing nothing this week. His expression became a little unpredictable. Huh, Karina hummed in confusion. You are not a secretary, you are an undercover agent hiding in the capital of 7 Waters for Pluton's design. I'm right, CP9 agent, Miss Khalifa. Venom's words were like thunder, exploding in Khalifa's mind. The other party not only knows his identity, but also knows the purpose of the undercover being around Bingshan. Pluton design drawing information. Only a very few people know this news. Even in Mariajoy, it is a secret that few people know. AGCF only I, as CP9, came into contact with the secret of Shikong after accepting the mission. The Venom in front of him was the captain of a pirate group. He shouldn't know about such things. For a moment, Khalifa was at a loss. Don't be nervous, Portgas d'Ace did not choose to join Shichibukai, so Mariajoy put his thoughts on me. What about your companions, will they choose to show up after getting feedback from me? As long as you are the only one, call them and they will come over. After all, there is also a person with the ability of the gate fruit, I think his name is Bluno. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Khalifa was completely shocked. Too detailed. The information given by Venom already contains everything about CP9 in the water capital. Including a week ago, after Lucci reported the news about the Venom pirates to Mariajoy, the superiors asked him to recruit the Venom pirates to take over Crocodile's Shichibukai position. At the same time, even the news that Bluno has the door fruit, he said. This is not a test, but a presentation of facts. Also at this time, there was a sudden fluctuation in the room. Bright red blood emerged from Karina's body. The silk-like scarlet color spreads directly around Khalifa. The next moment, a red figure appeared behind Khalifa. A sharp claw with cold blood was placed on Khalifa's neck. What do you think of the captain's suggestion, Miss Khalifa? Karina's voice came from behind, and Khalifa suddenly became alert and was about to collapse. There is another news to tell you. As early as a week ago, the captain has told Bingshan about your news. It is estimated that during this week, your teammates have been investigated by Bingshan. In the capital of Seven Rivers, the mission has failed. What? Suddenly, Karina's words caused Khalifa to fall into the ice cellar. My whole body felt chilly. Why are you doing this? Karina has made it obvious that CP9 will inevitably fail. And Mariajoy will never let go of CP9 from now on. The Venom pirates are pushing CP9 towards the end of the road. Thinking of the result, Khalifa sat down directly. Expression lost to ultimate. At this time, Venom said from the side, "Okay, Karina, stop joking with her. I didn't break the news to Iceberg. But I am certain that the mission of CP9 will definitely fail, because I will personally pick up Pluton's design drawings." Do you know the location of Pluton's design drawings? Khalifa suddenly felt despair and said in despair, "But so what? What's the difference? For CP9, if Venom takes action, the final result is not failure. The other party is fighting Marine Admiral in the New World, and is indifferent to Shichibukai's title, so CP9 has lost the qualification to negotiate. I originally thought I just wanted to poke my breath from the side. I didn't expect that Venom knew everything so clearly." Venom smiled and said, "At least you still have time to escape and prepare. However, since I tell you this secret, it means you have no choice. CP9 will eventually fail and will be dealt with by Mariajoy sooner or later. You can choose not to work for Mariajoy now, as long as you join us." In the original work, after CP9's time in Eni's lobby, all members of the organization were removed. Become the rat that everyone within the organization shouts about. The leader, Rob Lucci, was seriously injured and finally relied on his team members to perform on the street to raise medical expenses. However, he later appeared in New World, and Rob Lucci and his team became members of the CPO. Even though he looks a bit mean-spirited, he still has to work hard to be Mariajoy's dog after being expelled. But Venom also understands that they are the ones abandoned by the world and have no choice. Many people in the sea have no choice. What Venom wants now is to test whether Khalifa can become his crew member. As for the other people in CP9, Venom doesn't want to waste any thought on it. However, he must get the door fruit. Any object touched by the user with the door fruit ability will turn into a door and can be opened. They can open the door and enter and exit freely anywhere, and even the human body will be affected by the effects of space. In the original novel, Bluno made Luffy's eyes grow to the back of his head. This ability is similar to Op fruit. Moreover, the gate fruit is a space-based devil fruit with the ability to jump through space. Currently among the Venom pirates, only Venom can coordinate jump. As long as we get the fruits of the door, the entire team will have much easier access. After a long time, Khalifa didn't even speak. She was left on the sofa by Karina and fell into a daze. She doesn't know where the future is. I don't know what the future holds. My information is completely mastered by Venom, and I am not qualified to negotiate terms with Venom. According to the opponent's strength, the entire CP9 will be destroyed in the capital of Seven Waters. Besides, after getting along with her this week, although Khalifa himself doesn't have much sense of presence. But the feelings between Venom and the girl group cannot be hidden. This is a great group. And coupled with their strength, they may be able to provide themselves with protection. Finally, a word came out of Khalifa's mouth, "I join you." That's good. Nami, Karina, take her to Bingshan to submit her resignation report. Venom stood up. By the way, Khalifa, everything is voluntary, right? Being a very polite bad guy. Since Venom is the one digging icebergs, he should go and say hello. Of course, Venom had no intention of wasting time with the other members of CP9, nor did he plan to tell Bingshan that there was an undercover agent beside him. Anyway, he came to the capital of Seven Waters this time. There are 3 tasks. The first is to enhance the quality of sailing life and the renovation work of the Neferutari. The second is to increase the power of the Gate Fruit and Khalifa. The third is to eliminate potential threats and get the Pluton design drawings. Although Venom has no intention of building Pluton, if Pluton is in the hands of others one day, it will be detrimental to Venom. Now that we have come to the capital of Seven Waters, we must completely resolve this hidden danger. It is safest to hold the power in your own hands. For the rest, just let them fend for themselves. How they develop is not Venom's concern. Now, Karina finally knows who Venom is. He is a bad person. But it would be quite charming if we could become partners. Khalifa nodded, collected her emotions, and said, I understand. My captain, I won't say anything unnecessary. The capital of Seven Rivers, facing the rushing water channel. Bingshan was a little confused and was sitting in the number 1 dock with Lucci and Kaku, drinking wine. Neferutari's order has been filled for a week. In the dock, several new ships came and went. At this time, people on both sides were a little confused and poured wine into the area. On the iceberg side, he thinks that it is not easy to lead Khalifa in normal times. Many important things in Carrera Company are entrusted to Khalifa, but since the Venom pirates, Khalifa chose to change jobs. As the owner of a shipyard company, if employees want to change jobs, Bingshan will not force them to stay. But Khalifa wants to join the Venom pirates and become a pirate. This decision is outrageous. Things that were originally out of reach actually happened right in front of me. Bingshan took a sip of wine in a daze, then looked at Lucci and Kaku. These two people joined the shipyard company with Khalifa at that time. It seems that Khalifa's departure also affected their mood. So the three people gathered together. However, what Bingshan didn't know was that Lucci was extremely depressed because of Khalifa's affairs. Lucci couldn't understand either. He is the leader of CP9, but he has no idea that Khalifa is joining the Venom pirates. Lucci could only guess that Khalifa had received a secret mission from Mariajoy. For example, infiltrating the Venom pirates. Lucci didn't know what the higher-ups were going to do. The mission to contact the Venom pirates ended inexplicably with the addition of Khalifa. Anyway, Lucci was a little confused now, and couldn't help but smile bitterly when looking at the iceberg. Boss Iceberg, your employees have been pried away by Venom. It just so happened that my employees were also pried away by the Venom. We have sympathy for each other. This day, the sun is shining brightly. The Neferutari sails on the blue sea. Karina and Nami sat under the sun 3 times, each busy. On the plywood not far away, Khalifa looked at this scene with a smile, and gradually began to enjoy it. So far, Khalifa has joined the Venom pirates for a week, and nothing major has happened. She is doing normal work, as if she is on vacation. Of course, Khalifa has gone through rigorous training. He has good cooking skills, which makes Venom very satisfied. The entire pirate group welcomed her. On the other side is Venom, lying leisurely on the beach chair and enjoying the cocktail prepared by Khalifa. There are 3 big things on board now. The first thing is that in addition to Khalifa, a creature appears on the ship. It was Black Chocho who had boarded the ship from Western Cake Chocho. At that time, Venom and the others did not notice that this little guy sneaked onto the ship after being robbed of the dark fruit by Venom, probably because he was robbed of treasure. If Nami hadn't noticed that there were less items in the refrigerator every day. It's not like I'm going to catch it now. Hey Chocho huddled in a corner on the deck, with his round butt exposed, still very shy. There is nothing you can do about robbing someone else's treasured dark fruit. What if such an awesome fruit was given to Black Ball as a collection? It is a waste of natural resources. Therefore, Venom can only keep Hey Chocho as a pet first. Put it on the boat and didn't pay much attention to it. The second thing is that Robin was left in the capital of Seven Waters. As for why we do this, the reason is actually very simple. He wants to leave a coordinate that can be moved at any time. Nico Robin is considerate and stayed decisively after learning about Venom's plan. Before Venom knows that Dark Fruit's ability is very important and Khalifa has not been tested, he will not eat her. Furthermore, Khalifa was forced to join the ship and needed time to integrate into the team. So the Venom itself didn't choose to parasitize Khalifa. This leads to the fact that Venom does not have the ability of Dark Fruit. Without the dark power of Dark Fruit, the Menman fruit in Water City would not be able to count for the time being. Therefore, Venom planned to completely surrender Khalifa and gain the ability of Dark Fruit, and then teleport to Robin in the Water City to get the door fruit. Finally, the space ability of the gate fruit was used to carry Robin back to the Nefertari. In this way, the 3 goals in the capital of 7 waters were achieved. A closed loop is formed. Boss, what should we do next? Nami raised his arm, looked at the magnetic pointer above, and once again determined the direction of Gaia Island. In preparation, Nami also wanted to ask Venom how to deal with Khalifa. When should I give her dark fruit? In fact, over the past week, a friendship has formed between Nami, Karina and Khalifa. However, everyone had reservations before Venom chose to parasitize. Hearing this, Venom also knew it was time, so he waved to Khalifa. Then Khalifa came over. Boss, are you looking for me? Is there something wrong with this cocktail? No, it tastes good. Let Nami tell you about the pirate group. Nami received the order, opened Shikai and said, Khalifa, do you know our pirate group? Khalifa nodded and told the information he knew. It's very strong. In our intelligence, we must have information about all well-known pirate groups. When the boss established the pirate group, he went through intense discussions in the CP organization, but he didn't expect that the boss would have the power to defeat the pirate group. The strength of Marine Admiral. Khalifa spoke bluntly. Well, like Karina and I, we were originally very small thieves, but under the training of the boss, we have become powerful, and the source of our ability is parasitism. Parasitic. This is the first time Khalifa has heard of such an ability. With Nami's explanation, Khalifa finally understood the power of Venom. Ability assimilation. Ability transfer. This is why Venom is powerful. Khalifa also subconsciously knew that if she wanted to integrate into this team, she must first become the parasite of Captain Venom. On this ship, I feel free and aware that everyone has not accepted me yet. Boss. Can I ask you to be a parasite on me? No matter what happens in the future, I am willing to accompany the boss. Faced with Khalifa's statement, Venom nodded. In fact, he could use force, but he didn't want to waste such a fighting force, so he spent some time. Nami, take out the dark fruit. It's the boss. When dark fruit appeared in front of Khalifa, her eyes immediately turned to shock. It's time to give yourself a devil fruit. Since I haven't been parasitized yet, am I going to accept the favor of the pirate group? Khalifa fell into silence, because she knows that this is her chance to change her destiny. A devil fruit is enough to change a person's destiny, especially on Venom's ship. Mara fruit, sand fruit, magical phantom vampire forms, including Nico Robin's flower fruit, are all famous demonic abilities in the sea. Now, as you can see from the snail pattern on this lavender fruit that is the size of 2 hands, it is most likely a Logia devil fruit. Moreover, judging from the smell emanating from this devil fruit, its power will be very overbearing. Nami and Karina on the side also came over. Because before, Venom only explained the importance of this devil fruit, but Venom didn't explain too much about its specific abilities. But anyone with a discerning eye can see that Venom attaches great importance to this devil fruit. Now dark fruit is about to be eaten by his companions. The Venom boss will definitely tell everyone the specific function of this devil fruit. Soon, Venom began to tell. This devil fruit. It's called Logia dark fruit, and it's the most vicious ability in the history of devil fruit. It represents the dark power in Logia. It has infinite gravity like a black hole and can suck in infinite compression and crushing of everything in contact with darkness. More importantly, dark fruit also has the ability to attract people with abilities from across the air, and can temporarily incapacitate people with abilities by touching them with their hands, regardless of their type. It is the most vicious devil fruit ability in history, and the nemesis of all demon fruit powers. Of course, dark fruit also has a specific ability, which is that it can seize the opponent's fruit ability when the user is Esper. 2. Domineering. As ability users, Nami and Karina can feel the dominance of this ability as soon as they hear it. The power of a black hole that crushes everything. Reduce other people's abilities to nothing. You can also steal other people's fruit abilities. Even any one of them is very powerful. Dark fruit spun around in Venom's hand and handed it directly to Khalifa. Khalifa, you eat it. Quote ? Khalifa was slightly startled and subconsciously pointed at himself. Boss, can you really give me such a powerful ability? I can let the boss parasitize me first, and devil fruit can take it easy. Venom said calmly, this fruit was originally prepared for you, just eat it. We will talk about the parasitism later. Now that Khalifa is on board, Venom does not need to consider the order of parasitism and fruit eating. Got it. Khalifa nodded heavily. As someone who used to work in an intelligence agency, I heard about dark fruit's abilities from Venom. Khalifa found many references at once. Akainu Kuzan, Khalifa knew that the fruit's ability was definitely not inferior to Marine Admiral's ability. But now, the Venom boss actually let himself eat the fruit before it could become a parasite. Immediately, Khalifa's heart was filled with emotion. After living in this world for so long, this is the first time I have received such a great favor. If you join the Venom Pirates, you are following the right person. Now, Khalifa didn't hesitate at all. Take dark fruit directly from Venom's hands. I took a small bite of the pulp. After eating the pulp, Khalifa's delicate little face suddenly turned blue. I almost vomited on the spot. Seeing Khalifa's reaction, Nami and Karina both laughed. Everyone is the same. Everyone has tasted this taste. Just take one bite and throw away the rest. Venom pointed to Black Ball on one side, who was still sleeping at this time. He had guarded dark fruit for so long, and the rest was eaten by Black Ball. Alerted by the venom, Khalifa hurriedly threw away the remaining fruit. Dong dong dong, it rolled to the side and fell behind Black Ball. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The Black Ball's back was hit by dark fruit, and its hair immediately exploded. But when I saw it was dark fruit, I immediately became pleasantly surprised. He also made a squeaking sound towards Venom. It seems that again, Emma, you are finally willing to give it back to me. Do you know how long I have been following you? Just for it. My dark fruit, my baby. I'm back. Ignoring the cute creature Black Ball, Venom turned around and asked, Khalifa, do you feel anything? Nami and Karina also walked up to Khalifa and asked curiously. Can you use the ability? Yeah. Khalifa took a few heavy breaths to get rid of the taste in her mouth, and even drank the cocktail prepared for Venom. I feel that there is darkness in my consciousness, and I seem to be able to mobilize them. Immediately, a pure black sand-like substance emitted from Khalifa's body, surrounding her body like black smoke, turning her temperament into a dark black style. And seeing the changes in Khalifa, the dark power seemed to be gravitational and was going to swallow everything up. Nami and Karina seemed to sense something dangerous. His expression couldn't help but change. Venom, on the other hand, was very calm on the side. This black sand-like material seems to be alive and has suppressive power against demon fruit power. The terrifying gravity contained in the black mist is as bottomless as a black hole. Dark fruit can absorb everything through the devil fruit ability in the body of the Esper. This darkness is like the opposite flame of Mara Mara fruit, but it is very cold and makes people a little scared. Nami took a step back with instinctive fear. The devil fruit spirit in Nami's body seems to be reminding Nami. Planting black mist is very dangerous. Boss, Nami, Karina, we are companions. Khalifa was a little nervous. She could see that Nami and Karina were obviously uncomfortable with the darkness in them. Khalifa was afraid that Nami and others would not be friends with her because of their fear. Dark abilities must be used to show that kind of dominance. Karina, relax, I want to be a parasite on your body. As he said that, Venom's vampire form still changed, as if it disintegrated, turning into a pitch-black cosmic symbiosis liquid. Is the boss going to be a parasite? Is this the true form of Boss Venom? Khalifa thought about the news about Venom that was first reported in Logue Town. At that time, Venom did not have a vampire form. The photo looked more like a terrifying strange creature. However, now Khalifa has devoted herself wholeheartedly to the team. No matter what kind of appearance Venom is, in her eyes, he is her boss. Khalifa clenched her teeth and was a little scared. She had never been parasitized before, so she didn't know what to expect. Since the boss told him to relax, Khalifa closed his eyes directly and his body was in a relaxed state. Soon, a cool liquid began to cover her skin. Very comfortable. It was as if there was a living stream of water brushing over the smooth skin and slowly seeping into all parts of Khalifa, making her blush. What a strange feeling. In a few minutes, Guo had completed the rich. I also successfully copied Dark Fruit's abilities. Immediately, Venom showed a wicked smile and controlled Khalifa to stretch out a hand. Dark water. Seeing this expression, Nami and Karina immediately felt bad. They both knew that the boss had some bad intentions. As expected, before they had time to react, Nami and Karina lifted their feet off the ground, as if being lifted up by an invisible force, and then flew directly out. The next second they were hugging Khalifa. "Boss, did you do this? It's so amazing. I just lost my control inexplicably, as if I was attracted by something." Under Venom's control, Khalifa placed her hands on Nami and Karina's skin. "If you try it, can you still use the devil fruit ability?" "Why, boss, my flame can't burn. Boss, I can't turn into a terrible vampire. I feel so powerless. Is this dark fruit's ability?" Venom let go of Nami and Karina. "Yes, this is how dark fruit controls demon fruit power. In addition, there are..." After the words fell, Venom put his hand on the table, and soon a black area appeared, and the cocktail glass that Khalifa had drank sank into endless darkness. Then, Venom waved his hand. Dark liberation. A dark whirlwind blew up on the deck, exploding in front of several people. Pieces of tiny broken glass lay scattered on the deck, glistening in the sunlight. "Khalifa, do you realize this? This is the compression force of a black hole that crushes everything. Whether it is rocks, ships, or houses, as long as it is sucked into the empty space, you can use the power of darkness to crush it." "Boss." Khalifa fully understood the meaning of Venom. This is teaching. Unexpectedly, the boss not only gave himself an extremely powerful devil fruit, but also demonstrated the ability himself, which moved Khalifa deeply. "I understand, thank you boss. Well, having dark fruit's ability also comes at a price." With that said, Venom picked up a very small piece of broken glass from the ground, and then moved Khalifa's Venom armor away, revealing his smooth arms. One stroke. Blood immediately started to appear. Khalifa felt a sharp pain when he saw the blood coming out of his arm. It looked like there was not much of a wound, but he felt severe pain. But Khalifa didn't refuse. She knew that the venom would not harm her. Even with the blade on his neck, Khalifa completely trusts Venom. And this time, Nami was surprised and said, "Boss, isn't dark fruit Logia? Why is Khalifa not elemental? If you cut a hole, it should be endless darkness." "Idiot, who told you that dark fruit is a normal Logia? Dark fruit's ability cannot be elementalized, and the pain will be doubled when it is damaged, but at the same time, it also brings a huge benefit. That is, if the ability is well developed, even if Khalifa is shot through the heart, he can still use the dark ability to swallow up the damage." Said. Venom immediately activates the press ability. A black smoke of fine sand directly covered Khalifa's injured location. The next second the wound was completely gone. The pain disappeared completely, not even a scar was left. "So amazing." Khalifa nodded. As a user with dark fruit abilities, under the guidance of Venom, she already knows the specific usage of the fruit's abilities. Moreover, under the guidance of Venom, she also communicated with a dark space. "I believe it has a greater effect. Dark fruit's fruit ability needs to be developed. Don't worry now, I will tell you new ways to use it in the future. All you have to do now is to adapt to this power." "Yes, God. By the way, I have a goal now, and I want to tell you first." Quote. Khalifa was a little confused. "I'm going to use dark fruit to capture Bluno's Paramesha fruit. This devil fruit has a great effect, and I'm bound to get it." Considering that Khalifa and Bluno were teammates, Venom still has to respect Khalifa's opinion. If she's very resistant, Venom might consider letting Bluno go. After all, the psychology of a girl group needs to be taken care of. If Bluno's death leaves a shadow on Khalifa, that's not good. "Bluno, will he die?" "Yes," Venom answered firmly. "Although we have been working together for a while, I have changed batch after batch of players in CP9 over the years. Some were killed by opponents, and some were directly eliminated by Mariajoy. As long as Mariajoy gives an order, even a member of the team will be killed. They will kill each other without hesitation. I'm used to it. I listen to the boss in everything. An ironclad position and a stable membership are facts that are played out every day." Khalifa said calmly. Venom nodded. "I understand. Then come back soon." After saying that, Venom disappeared on the Nefertari with just a thought. Khalifa suddenly felt light. Nami explained. the boss has the ability to teleport on the crew. He left Robin in the capital of Seven Waters just to get the coordinates to go back. He and Robin will be back soon. Nami, Karina, what would you like to drink? After Venom left, the atmosphere on the ship did not fade away. Wow, bartender Khalifa, I want a Bloody Mary. Karina said with anticipation. This is perfect for me. Nami thought for a while, is there any orange-flavored wine? Certainly. At this time, Black Ball came to Nami and others. Squeak. It pointed at the bitten dark fruit and opened its mouth with tears in its eyes, as if to say, this is my favorite toy. You ate it. You have to pay for it. Khalifa frowned, not knowing what it meant. After Nami's explanation, Khalifa learned the reasons why the Venom pirates obtained the dark fruit. It turned out that it was snatched from the hands of this dark guy. While apologizing to Black Ball, I also express my gratitude to the entire Venom pirates. Venom went to New World specially and searched for this ability for 3 whole months before he found it. To be able to meet such a team, Lifa has nothing more to ask for. City of Seven Waters, Shuizhou Hotel. Robin was surprised by the venom that suddenly emerged from his body. Soon, a complete vampire Venom appeared in the room. Nico Robin immediately came up to him and gave him a bear hug. Boss. Squeezing Robin's chin, Venom smiled and said, thank you for your hard work. I'll let you wait here alone. The work over there has been completed. Yeah, Robin nodded obediently. Robin was 26 years old at this time and a mature woman. But in front of Venom, she behaved like a well-behaved kitten. Especially when you were alone. Then, an hour passed. Seeing the dark ability emerging from Venom's hand, Robin was a little frightened. Is this the ability of dark fruit? It is born with the power to scare people, Robin said. That's right, this is the nemesis of demon fruit power. With that said, Venom grabbed Robin's hand and immediately made Robin powerless and ready to be slaughtered. The look was very moving. Dark fruit can take away other people's devil fruit abilities. Venom has never been one to keep secrets from his own crew. Of course, except that I am a time traveler. Even if I tell them, I believe they won't be able to accept it for a while. It wasn't very important anyway, so Venom chose not to say anything. Secrets such as devil fruit abilities, historical text, ancient weapon, etc. Poison liquid will still tell the girl group, on the one hand to enhance their cognition, and on the other hand to train their acceptance ability. In this regard, the members of the girl group all admire Venom very much. Even Robin felt a lack of knowledge in front of Venom. Do you remember when sand fruit was reborn in our refrigerator? Venom's words reminded Robin of Alabasta's experience more than half a year ago. Robin nodded. After the person with the ability dies, the devil fruit will escape from the body of the person with the ability, and then there is a very small chance of attaching to nearby fruits. As for dark fruit's ability, I guess it makes darkness form a space so that the spirit of devil fruit cannot escape, and in the end it can only possess the fruit in the darkness. Well, that's what happened. Robin nodded with a cute smile. Does the water now have the demon fruit power we need? Have. Are you in a hurry? Huh, it doesn't seem to be in a hurry. Then, boss, I want to stay with you for a few more days before going back, is that okay? Then I'll treat it as the boss and agree. Little clever devil. Robin would not miss this rare opportunity to be alone with Venom. No, exactly. This is something that all girl group members will not let go of. Robin felt that he had to wait alone in the capital of Seven Waters and endure a few days without his boss. This decision was too difficult, but it was also too wise and powerful. The happy days are fleeting. At this time, in the room of Shuizhou Hotel, Venom and Luo were preparing to leave. Today, Venom has accomplished 2 things. The first thing was to find Frankie, knock him unconscious, and find the design drawings of the Pluton battleship in his mechanized belly. The Venom didn't kill Frankie. Although he is a violent creature, he is not cruel, on the contrary, he is very caring. Therefore, under the premise that Frankie did not offend him, Venom just zapped him with lightning speed and took the banquet drawings in his hands. The second thing was to go to a tavern and find Bluno, who was undercover in the capital of Seven Waters. In a dark room, the other party died painlessly, and then Venom wrapped Bluno's body with dark fruit's ability, threw in a few fruits, and got the gate fruit in a minute. At last, now Venom faces a major problem. That is, if no one eats the Menman fruit, I can teleport into Nami or Karina at any time, but how can I bring Robin back alive? The ability of special delivery. Too careless. Previous ideas for Venom were less polished. Just remember it now. Your ship lacks crew members who can eat devil fruit. The first time he saw Venom being troubled by something, Robin wanted to help him share the burden, so he asked cautiously, "Boss, have you encountered any problems?" Venom was a little embarrassed. "I really don't think there is a way to bring you to the Nefertari. I may need Nami and the others to come back to pick you up." "Ah, that's it. That's great. This way I can be alone with the boss for a few more days." Venom was speechless after hearing Robin's nervous words. By the way, dark fruit also has a dark space. Venom suddenly thought that dark fruit also has a space. It seems that many devil fruits have the concept of space. For example, in the vampire form of the fantasy beast species, there is a blood pool space, but it can only store the blood absorbed by the ability user, and other substances cannot enter. It is regarded as a closed energy storage place. The door fruit is pure space. Unfortunately, no one has eaten it yet. What it is exactly needs Venom's follow-up exploration. Dark fruit is very simple. As long as the esper is strong, dark fruit can absorb everything. As for crushing, it is an active skill. If a person or creature is absorbed into a dark space, will it survive? Thinking so, Venom found a few pieces of bread from the refrigerator in the room. Crush it and scatter it on the windowsill. This is the capital of 7 rivers, and the whole city is the sea. There are countless seagulls. Soon 2 seagulls saw the bread thrown by Venom. As soon as it fell, the 2 birds grabbed the pieces of bread and ate them happily. The next second he was captured by the black hole. 2 seagulls pulled into the darkness. Under Venom's observation, everything in the dark space was revealed before his eyes. There was endless darkness inside. There isn't any light. But as a person with abilities, Venom can sense the location of the 2 seagulls. The seagulls seemed to be affected by gravity inside, suspended in the darkness and unable to move. Of course, it was not life-threatening. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes passed. The seagull is not dead. Well, let's put one out now and have a look. Under the control of Venom, a small black hole appeared on the balcony. Robin watched in amazement. Soon a seagull broke away from its restraints and flew directly into the distance as if it was frightened. The bread on the ground suddenly lost its aroma. The other seagull was not so lucky. It became a guinea pig for Venom. Compressed and crushed by the black hole. When released, it had turned into pieces. If the Venom is willing to use more force, it can even turn everything in the seagull into fine particles. Dark Fruit's abilities are truly terrifying. In the original book, during the battle between Blackbeard and Ace, he used the power of darkness to sink a town into a dark space, and then destroyed the house through the power of the black hole. When released, although the wooden boards of the house were broken, they were relatively intact. It doesn't look very powerful, but it's just that Blackbeard didn't use all his strength to compress and crush it. Things like houses only need to be destroyed, there is no need to completely turn the house into nothingness. This power is so overbearing. Venom is very happy with his decision. Dark Fruit is really not easy. Deserving of the title of the most vicious ability in history. "Boss, is there any result?" Knowing that Venom was conducting experiments, Robin waited aside before speaking. "Robin, are you afraid of the dark?" Venom said with a smile. "Boss isn't going to drag me into that dark space, is he?" Robin whispered, holding Venom in his arms, with some fear and a hint of doubt in his tone. Venom has a headache. How could he not know the mentality of the girl group? The girl group has 100% trust in their decisions, but they are just naughty. They are all trying to trick me, the captain. You just want to stay one more day. Ah, I've been discovered. I'd better go in. Boss, please open the door and let me fall into the darkness. Just one day at a time, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Great. Quote. The next day, Nefertari. The Venom was first transferred to Nami, and then Luobao was released from the darkness in front of everyone. Robin fell and was quickly caught by Venom in a princess hug. At this time, Robin felt that she had lost all her strength. She never wanted to go to that dark space again unless the boss personally requested it. A few minutes later, with the care of the girl group, Robin recovered. Welcome back, Robin. Khalifa held a plate in her hand with the wine she mixed on it. With the addition of Khalifa, it just fills the gap on the ship in terms of food and wine. Of course, Khalifa himself is an agent and has a foundation of combat capability. Under Venom's training, I believe that it won't take long for him to become a cutting-edge combat capability again. Khalifa, welcome to join us. Robin smiled and took the cocktail handed over by Khalifa. Khalifa proudly said what she was good at and wished she could eat all the delicious food on the ship. Only in this way can we better integrate into this team. Of course, she has been accepted by everyone. She felt it was not enough and wanted to show off to Venom better. Thank you, you can ask me to cook whatever you want for lunch. I know a lot of cooking. Great, cheers. After the meal, everyone's stomachs were greatly satisfied. Nami was drawing a navigation chart and said at the same time, Boss, we will arrive at Gaia Island soon. The next island is Alabasta. We have a permanent pointer. Thinking of Sister Vivi who stayed in Alabasta, Nami was impatient. Venom thought for a moment, let's go to Sky Island first. Sky Island. Does it really exist? Does Sky Island really exist? Everyone present had never been to Sky Island, so they were naturally curious about Sky Island. The most intense one was Nami. As a navigator, she just likes ocean geography. If you want to rank the proportion in Nami's heart, Venom would be first on the list. Cocoa West Village comes in second. Navigation knowledge ranked third. The fourth is money. As Venom said the next destination, the girl group gathered around. A burst of fragrance comes from the city. A fragrance unique to women. Seeing this, Venom could only explain to these curious babies one by one. Many people think that Sky Island does not exist, but in fact Sky Island does exist, and there are many. Sky Island is located above the white clouds. And Sky Island is the general name for all islands floating in the sky. What we are going to is a Piado, which is actually part of Gaia Island that was washed up on Sky Island by rising sea currents 400 years ago. Venom explained the basic knowledge of Sky Island. Part of Gaia Island, Nami carefully recorded it in a small notebook. She learned more about the history of Sky Island. Also, Nami, where is there still an ancient city that perished 800 years ago, Shantora? The bell tower and other objects in the city are all made of gold. They are worth a lot of money. A city made of gold. The city of gold. Nani. When they heard about the city of gold, little stars instantly lit up in Nami and Karina's eyes. Boss, there should be more than just gold on Sky Island, right? Based on Robin's understanding of Venom, he shouldn't be planning a long trip just because of gold. Whether it's going to New World, going to Cakes and Balls, or going to the capital of Seven Waters. The main reason why Venom goes to these places is not money-led. It's the power hidden behind it. Therefore, Robin speculates that the reason why Venom wants to go to Sky Island may be related to his ability. Khalifa nodded aside and said nothing. As a newcomer on the ship, she is learning to get along well with Venom along the way. It must not just be because of the gold, but there is a god of Sky Island stored on it, and he possesses an invincible ability in Logia, Thunder Fruit. Venom looked at the girl group and smiled. It's actually Thunder Fruit, Khalifa exclaimed after hearing the news. On the other hand, Robin's expression also became serious. Khalifa, Robin, do you know this fruit? Let Khalifa speak first, I just heard about it. Robin nodded and gave Khalifa the opportunity to perform. Khalifa nodded and smiled at Luo Ying. I have to say, Sister Robin is really considerate. Khalifa is a former CP9 member and has also done research on devil fruit. Although he has not seen many of them, he remembers some famous devil fruits in his heart. Especially after she obtained the dark fruit, she went through all the top abilities in her mind in order to capture them in the future. The thunder fruit was naturally her focus. This thunder fruit has not been seen for a long time. It used to be the ability of the Marine Admiral in the early era, but for unknown reasons, it was lost in the sea. Thunder Fruit is indeed the top Logia Devil Fruit, and even the most comprehensive ability in Logia. It has destructive power and ultimate speed. Although there was lightning in every battle in the later period, it attacks with fire at every turn and thunders at every turn. 8 trigrams. As a result, some people said that Mara fruit would not even be eaten, and Thunder Fruit said, "Are you polite?" There are countless such jokes. But let's just talk about Thunder's ability. No one in the world can rival Thunder Fruit. Moreover, Thunder Fruit is not only powerful because of its destructive ability, but also because of its comprehensiveness. Sparkling Fruit, which is somewhat similar to Thunder Fruit, walks in a straight line and can only turn using refraction. It also needs to avoid buildings when encountering them. But Thunder Fruit is different. Objectively speaking, as long as there is an electric field in the environment. The ability user himself is a thunderbolt, which can instantly bypass all obstacles and reshape the body in any position. This is Thunder's teleportation. Robin nodded. Khalifa is right. Thunder Fruit can also create high temperatures instantly through thunder. It is extremely powerful. Yamato is comprehensive. So, Thunder Fruit is now in the possession of the god of Sky Island. That's right. Venom nodded. Although Enel's current combat power is very strong, it is not enough for Venom. One thing worth noting is to prevent Enel from escaping. Because Thunder Fruit is so buggy, it can even listen to people's hearts. With speed and anticipation, Enel can come and go as easily as Kizaru. This speed is simply unstoppable. Okay, now let's go to Gaia Island. Our goal is Sky Island. While waiting for the sea currents to reach the sky, everyone should have a good rest. Nami nodded. I know, boss. Robin and I will take care of everything. After assigning tasks to the crew, the Neferutari continues its voyage. The Venom returned to Khalifa's body to live as a parasite and earn fusion progress. In his impression, it takes a month to fully integrate a crew member. And why Venom cares so much about the progress of fusion? In fact, it's not just a teleportation skill. The reason also has something to do with the crew. Just like the current Khalifa, her physical constitution is not very strong, and the double pain caused by dark fruit will give her a fatal flaw in combat, resulting in a decrease in combat effectiveness, so Venom must be available to support at any time. Khalifa's abilities. Creating a girl group is what Venom wants to do. His ideal is to cultivate the girl group to the point where it can compete with Marine Admiral, or even be better than it. System, open the panel. There was a call from the heart. 10 transparent panels appeared immediately. Host, Venom. The first parasite host, Nami 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. Second parasite host, Karina 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. The third parasite, Nico Robin 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. The fourth parasite, Nefeltari Vivi 15%. The fifth parasite, Khalifa 23%. Fruit abilities, Mara Mara Fruit, Flower Flower Fruit, Sand Sand Fruit, Phantom Beast Vampire Form, Dark Fruit. Combat skills, Marine 6 styles, Armament Hockey, Observation Hockey, Swordsmanship. The only change is that Khalifa becomes the fifth parasite and adds a sword skill. You must practice hard during this period. Gongshu will teach the members of the girl group. Under Venom's observation, he discovered that Khalifa is good at Marine 6 styles. At the same time, because of Dark Fruit's ability, Khalifa is more suitable for fighting with physical skills. Therefore, new candidates are needed for the swordsman on the ship. As for the Door Fruit, and the design drawings of ancient weapon Pluton, keep it in Dark Fruit space and take it out when the time is right. At the same time, the capital of Seven Waters, Bingshan and Luki gathered together again. In dock number 1, the entire Carrera Company fell into silence. Because Bingshan, the boss of Carrera Company, and the leader of CP9 have entered a depressed mode. Sadness makes it easy to make friends. On the other side of the iceberg, Frankie had already reported to him that the Pluton design drawings had been snatched by someone, and Frankie didn't know who it was. After learning about this incident, Bingshan was about to collapse. Those are the design drawings passed down by my mentor. My unpromising junior brother actually lost the blueprint. With this result, how can Bingshan not be angry? The same goes for Lu Qi on the other side. Khalifa joined the Venom Pirates inexplicably, and Lu Qi was still confused. Bluno was killed in the tavern he ran, and the murderer has not yet been found. All the bad things happened to him, the leader of CP9. Lu Qi was very distressed. Things were beyond his capabilities. After saying goodbye to his boss Bingshan, Lu Qi found a secluded place and called Mariajoy directly. After the call is connected, what Lu Qi received was the wrath from the 5 elders. Waste. A few losers. I asked you to contact Venom to serve as 7 warlords of the sea, but in the end, there was no news at all. Now I'm calling and you actually told me that the Venom pirates have left the capital of Seven Waters. Even CP9 agent Khalifa was pried away by Venom. If you fail to recruit, you will be poached. Mariajoy cannot afford to disgrace this person. The Venom pirates seem to be going against Mariajoy without giving him any face. What happened on the sea was so good that it was simply incomprehensible. What on earth are these newcomers going to do? Do all newcomers dance like this? In the past year, the former Venom caused chaos in Logue Town, defeated Marine Admiral Iokiji in Alabasta, and went to New World to defeat Marine Admiral. Later, Portgas d'Ace refused Mariajoy's recruitment and disdained the position of Shichibukai. It's better now, and the Venom pirates are even better. Not only did he not accept Mariajoy's solicitation, he also brought all CP9 agents on board. A CP9 agent, whom Mariajoy spent a lot of money to train. Money doesn't matter, the important thing is face. When did public meals become unpalatable? Please calm down, there is actually another bad thing. CP9 agent Bluno has been confirmed dead. The murderer is unknown. I hope the superiors can consider sending another one. Lu Chi said tremblingly. But I haven't waited for the other party's response. 5 elders immediately hung up the phone. What is the death of an agent compared to Mariajoy's dignity? The 5 elders are already very patient. If they didn't need CP9 to undercover the Seven Waters city to find Pluton's design drawings, they would now order all members of CP9 to be eliminated. What Mariajoy didn't know was, Pluton's design drawings have already been taken down by Venom. Mariajoy's layout in the Seven Waters capital is destined to be a waste of effort. Exclamation mark. A few days later, the Venom pirates arrived at Gaia Island. But after asking around on Gaia Island, I found out that today's soaring sea currents would take 3 months. In this way, the Venom pirates were stationed near Gaia Island. When supplies run out, go to Gaia Island to replenish supplies. I usually train on another desert island. Cultivate the combat effectiveness of the women's team. Venom's goal is very clear, which is to get the Thunder Fruit first, and everything else comes second. As for Vivi, the crew member, Venom plans to go to Alabasta after the Sky Island trip. The Aborigines of Gaia Island and the ancient city of Shantora were lifted into the sky by the soaring sea currents 400 years ago, leaving only a small place. After development, it has become a gathering place for pirates. Of course there are people who admire Rolando. In Magic Valley Town on Gaia Island, the largest group of pirates is Don Quixote's Devil Fruit Paramesha Spring Fruit ability user, Bellamy. Bellamy has a bounty of 50 million Baileys and is the loyal dog of the Don Quixote family. For this demon fruit power, Venom doesn't even bother to take a look. Because the spring fruit itself is a very inconspicuous devil fruit. It has no value in Venom's eyes. However, I have to visit Doflamingo's weapons store. It's also a way to understand the situation in New World. A weapons shop in Magic Valley Town. Venom and others came out and didn't pick up anything. The only useful thing was that Karina bought a lot of seastone bullets and several pairs of seastone handcuffs here. Just this little thing cost hundreds of millions of belly. However, the Venom pirates were short of money, so they did not choose to rob openly. This is a seastone bullet that can attack the devil fruit entity. It's really magical. Karina wore black gloves and held a bullet with curiosity in her eyes. Yes, seastone is a rare mineral. It is a strange stone that only exists in a certain sea area of the New World. It can be processed into weapons, but the craftsmanship is very demanding and the price is very expensive. Venom explained on the side. Karina felt a twinge of pain when she thought about the price. This is not squandering money, it's just squandering money. Karina complained. One bullet costs 50,000 belly. It's so stupid. As a sniper and combatant on the Venom pirate's ship, she will not use seastone bullets easily. However, in the early stages, she still needs to use seastone bullets for practice. Because, whether it is quality or accuracy, seastone bullets are different from ordinary bullets. Therefore, Karina has to adapt to 2 different sights. When the sniper practice is completed, the seastone bullets will enter the thrift mode. Only when necessary. Group. Seastone is equivalent to the crystallization of the sea. Its composition is similar to that of the sea. It can be said to be the solid form of the sea. Its effect is the same as that of seawater, making demon fruit power unable to control its own abilities. Moreover, sea stone is extremely hard. It is said to be as hard as diamond and cannot be broken by ordinary means. It is the most valuable ore on the sea. Venom estimates that it is because of the dark trade between Doflamingo and Kaido of the Beasts, and these seastone weapons are commodities between the two forces. After returning to Neferutari's ship, Venom said, "Karina, take out all the seastone handcuffs." Although she didn't know what Venom was going to do, Karina still did as she was told. "Yes, boss." She took out a bunch of seastone products from a bag. Although seastone can seal Devil Fruit's abilities, it will also make the Esper weak, but this situation can be adapted. As long as you adapt, you can still use physical skills and sniper skills to fight even if you don't use your abilities. From now on, you will have to spend 3 hours every day to adapt to the sealing power of seastone. Now, you can wear it with your hands and shoulders. Until you get used to it. Simply, Venom explains its purpose. Venom isn't marine. He doesn't need to arrest people. These seastone handcuffs are not used to arrest people, but to train the girl group's temporary response capabilities. Don't be helpless when you encounter the sealed power. During the Summit War, Marco, who was in the form of a phantom beast and a phoenix, became a target of beatings because he was controlled by seastone. If it were replaced by my own girl group, Venom didn't want to see it. We use seastone handcuffs to handcuff ourselves. Robin had some questions, and then became a little shy. Then, Nami and Karina seemed to have thought of something and lowered their heads. Boss, if we are all handcuffed, we will enter a situation where we cannot move. Then can the boss do whatever he wants? Karina glanced at the large luxurious bed, blinked, and said with some hints. As for Khalifa, this one joined the newcomer first. Because he has been busy developing his fruit abilities recently, he has not been treated well by other crew members. But when they were getting along, how could she not be clear about it? All the partners on the ship, not just the crew of Venom Boss. What are you thinking about? Venom directly gave each of the girl group a roasted chestnut. Soon, both Nami and Karina Robin had small bumps on their heads. We don't need cuffs for now. Everyone will practice with a bullet for a moment. It will take 3 months to get used to seastone quickly. Venom said. I really don't know what my girl group is thinking about every day. How can you have more fun than a modern person like me? Moreover, some things do not require education, they are self-taught. If he had such a good talent in combat power, Venom wouldn't have to worry so much. However, looking at the pitiful girl group, as if they hadn't had enough to eat for a long time, Venom comforted him again. Okay, I will reward the first crew member who fully adapts to seastone. Agda. I know, boss. Nami nodded like a rattle. Okay. Karina nodded in agreement with a smile. Robin smiled and said, everyone, please work hard. Karina took the glove and took out 5 seastone bullets directly from the special cloth bag. Khalifa, you come first. Then, after Khalifa took the seastone bullet, he immediately collapsed to the ground and made a low sound. She looks so charming. A month has passed. However, if you don't look for trouble, trouble will find you. On this day, the Venom pirates had a rare day off, and it was also a day of supplies. But as soon as he arrived in the town of Mogu, he met an unexpected and reasonable person. Bellamy. Bellamy invited the Venom pirates in the name of letting Venom be a guest. As a result, Bellamy's personality changed drastically as soon as he arrived at Don Quixote's stronghold. After compressing the soles of his feet, Bellamy's feet grew springs and became a spring man. In the stronghold, I vowed to vent my dissatisfaction. Venom, do you know whose Mara fruit you grabbed belongs to? That's the god of the Don Quixote family, Doflamingo. Today I will let you taste the price of offending the Don Quixote family. Soon, past the burning of Nami Mara fruit, Bellamy's spring legs returned to their original shape at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then, it became infinitely old at a speed visible to the naked eye. Finally, he was wrapped in darkness by Khalifa and turned into nothingness. Transformed into a strange-looking spring fruit called Paramesha. Really, I have never seen such an imposing person after being at sea for so long. I thought I just met a marine admiral. After leaving a few words, the Venom pirates left peacefully under the shocked eyes of the Don Quixote family. At the same time, all their inventory shipped from the New World was looted by the Venom pirates. It's worth 632 million belly, so thank you. Nami waved. Don Quixote's people were stunned for a moment, nodded and bowed respectfully and sent Venom and others away. Have to say, the Don Quixote family is indeed quite wealthy. There are not only cash belly, but also seastone weapons, worth 600 million belly. This is much richer than the Dragon Pirates in East Blue. What's more, the Dragon Pirates are the headquarters, and what Bellamy controls is just a small one among the many strongholds of the Don Quixote family. As for whether there will be revenge from the Don Quixote family, Venom has long since stopped caring. Soon, the news of Venom taking over the Don Quixote family stronghold in Demon Valley Town was passed to the New World. New World, Dressrosa Island. Bellamy, you idiot. Doflamingo looked disdainful. Doflamingo did not care about the death of this subordinate who worked for him every year, but instead blamed him after learning that it was the Venom pirates who did it. It's a pity that Doflamingo didn't pay attention to Bellamy before. In addition, I didn't know Venom's itinerary, so I didn't expect that Venom would return to the first half of the Grand Line again. Therefore, Bellamy was not warned. According to Doflamingo, the newcomer Venom is very powerful and is not suitable to be an opponent, but should be a partner. Things have come to this. Late, Venom. Doflamingo felt a headache. Let everyone pay attention in the future and don't ruin my plan. I understand. Diamante nodded, and then went to give the order. After this order is issued, the Don Quixote family will not take the initiative to trouble the Venom pirates in the future. The sea is cruel. It's also very realistic. When the enemy becomes stronger, you should not only think about how to retaliate but to maintain the relationship. Maybe you will get greater benefits because of your temporary forbearance. Of course, Venom doesn't know what Doflamingo is thinking. Even if he knew, he probably wouldn't be dismissive. Because his purpose is only to care about the girl group, and he doesn't bother to care about anything else. Soon, the time has come for the arrival of the soaring sea currents. On the Neferutari, the girl group took off their seastone handbags one after another, waiting for Venom's reward with anticipation in his eyes. Boss, the reward is there. The four of us are together. As the heavy seastone handcuffs fell to the ground one by one, the girl group was finally completely liberated. Although everyone has adapted to the influence of seastone, in the final analysis, it is just a weakness. The true fighting power needs to be completely freed from restraints before it can be unleashed. Karina shook her arm, holding a sniper rifle in her hand. This sniper was named Ocean Hotel by her because she secretly used the sniper scope and saw Venom and Robin coming out of the hotel. However, now the Ocean Hotel has been adjusted to its best condition by Karina. With seastone bullets, you can also make precise attacks. It's Karina's secret weapon. The most important thing is that Karina does not need to wear special gloves during the loading process, it can be done directly by hand. At this time, there was no answer from Venom. Boss, there are changes in the sea, Nami said, looking at the sea. At this time, there were no waves on the sea. In the eyes of normal people, it is just an ordinary wave. And Nami's talent for navigation allows her to see more information revealed by the sea. Sky Island exists in the sky above the White Sea. The distance between Sky Island and the sea is 10,000 meters. Boss, can we really use the sky current to get to Sky Island? Venom smiled and said confidently to the girl group, just ride on the soaring ocean current. With me here, what do you have to worry about? It will be okay even if you fall into the sea. The current Venom can fly into the sky and escape from the earth. Strictly speaking, he is not demon fruit power. In the event that the girl group collectively falls into the sea, the girl group can also be included in the space of dark fruit. That's right. Venom's words were like a shot in the arm, making the entire girl group feel relieved. At this time, it was obviously broad daylight, but the sky was starting to get a little gloomy. The breeze on the sea suddenly became stronger and stronger. It was like there was a suction force dragging the ship toward the center of the sea. Boss, this is not a storm, but the currents deep in the sea are disordered. This seems to be an Uzumaki. Nami felt a huge suction force under the sea. It's like it's trying to swallow everything up. If there were no affirmative words from Venom before, Nami would definitely use her navigation knowledge to escape from this place at this moment. It doesn't matter, we have to speed up and rush into that Uzumaki. Under Venom's command, the Neferutari immediately fixed the sailboat and rowed directly towards the center of the current. The speed is getting faster and faster. And when it comes to the center of the ocean current, the Nefertari stopped, as if frozen. The central area is actually a windless and rainless environment. When Nami and others looked up, they saw a very clear circular area in the sky, which was in sharp contrast to the surrounding violent wind and waves. This situation is somewhat similar to the eye of a typhoon. The eye of a typhoon is the center of a typhoon. It is a strong weather system that occurs on the tropical ocean. The wind speed gradually increases from the periphery to the center, and then increases rapidly. However, in the central area with a diameter of tens of kilometers, the wind speed decreases rapidly and the rainfall stops. You can see sunshine during the day and a cloudless sky with stars at night. However, the eye of the storm that soars into the sky is much smaller. At this time, the Neferutari stabilized, as if it were parked on flat ground. It stayed like this for a few minutes. Finally, there was a sudden fluctuation under the sea floor, and then the water flow on the sea surface continued to rotate at high speed. The Neferutari was immediately involved. Coming. The current is about to explode. Everyone, hurry up. Nami grabbed the rudder tightly and reminded loudly. Certainly, faced with this situation, Venom can use the dark fruit ability to place the crew in a safe place. Then release it after reaching Sky Island. But risk-taking wins with personal experience. Venom didn't choose to do that. Soon, rumble. The entire sea surface shook, and everyone felt that a powerful force was about to erupt. Boom. With a loud noise, a huge water column rose into the sky, blocking everyone's sight. This water column seemed to have endless attraction, and directly pulled the Nefertari into it. In Nami's opinion, this feeling is somewhat similar to the reverse waterway of entering the Grand Line from Upside Down Mountain, but it is much more powerful. Soon, driven down by the soaring ocean currents, the entire Neferutari shook and flew into the sky the next second. Higher and higher, breaking through the layers of clouds. 7,000 meters. Arrive at the first stop at Sky Island. After a short time, the Neferutari finally stopped. Sailing on a white sea. Looking from a distance, the ship seems to be sailing in the clouds. This is the White Sea, which is still some distance away from our destination. Venom explained, the air up here is a bit thin, so everyone needs to pause and adapt. What a beautiful view. The girl group took a deep breath. It's like entering a white world, everything in front of you is white clouds. With their strong physiques, everyone in the pirate group quickly adapted to the thin air environment of Sky Island. After carefully appreciating the beautiful scenery, the Neferutari sails again. Boss, do you think I can kill that god with one shot? Karina held a seastone bullet in her hand and thought. Venom's eyes lit up. If he really wanted to do this, it would indeed save him a lot of trouble. Thunderfruit's ability user is Enel, a crazy guy who claims to be a god. There are two reasons why he is so arrogant. First, because Enel obtained the Thunderfruit. This power makes him almost equal to a true god-like omniscient existence, and his strength lies here. Second, Sky Island's unique geographical location is relatively remote, and few people from other sea areas come up, which leads to information blockage. Enel does not know what hockey is, nor what seastone is, nor does he know that there are many more in the sea. A strong person, he only thinks he is invincible. So, in this case, a bullet would not attract his attention at all, or even look down upon. The thing about catching bullets with your head. It is very likely to happen to Enel. That said, it's not impossible. Next, I will tell you about his abilities and what you need to pay attention to. After Venom's summary, it took the girl group a while to get Enel's qualities. He's just a fool, Nami complained. Seeing Nami's reaction, Venom felt a little proud. I remember in the original plot, the Straw Hat crew met Enel when they went to Sky Island. Everyone was desperate. Enel's Thunder Fruit ability almost destroyed the Straw Hat pirates. If it weren't for Luffy, who exists in the form of Nika, a human fruit fantasy beast species, and has the characteristic of being non-conductive, One Piece probably wouldn't be able to enter the next plot. As for why Enel can't kill anyone with electricity. As for why he lost to Luffy. Venom sums it up by saying, make way for the king. However, history has now changed. Venom doesn't just want Enel to get out of the way, he wants Thunderfruit's ability. Sky Island route. Residents of Sky Island have appeared one after another. The people all wore white wings as decoration behind their backs, which made the girl group marvel. At the same time, some people began to promote Sky Island's specialties to the Venom pirates. Sky Island residents use special clouds and shells as their basic living materials, and use special processing techniques to make building materials, tools, and combat weapons. It can be seen that they have also received tourists arriving at Sky Island from the ground. Nami guessed that the people from Sky Island did not show much surprise. Come on, let's go buy something. Robin smiled. As an intelligence collector, the first thing Robin understands is the psychology of others. As long as you pay Pele, it's easy for people to talk. Sure enough, after spending tens of thousands of Baileys, I got the information I wanted. In the Kakai Sea area, there are many strange-looking Kakai fish in order to adapt to the Kakai Sea without bottom. Some will swell up like balloons, and will explode like balloons when attacked. It's as flat as a board and very light. Some also have feathers growing on their bodies and have large mouths. The empty fish also has the function of a parachute. It is an important means of transportation from Sky Island to the sea. The Venom pirates now need to reach the upper White Sea, so what they need is another kind of express shrimp. Express shrimp is also a specialty of Baihai. They can carry the boat from the Gate of Heaven all the way to Sky Island. Because of Robin's spending money, he quickly became involved with the Sky Island animal trainer, and after paying 300,000 Baileys, the Neferutari was carried on the back of a huge express shrimp. The next second the express shrimp moved its 8 legs and ran towards the upper White Sea at an extremely fast speed. Magic. It's like taking a lobster version of an express taxi. After arriving at the destination, express shrimp raised the Nefertari and threw it into the sea of clouds, quickly disappearing. It's not polite at all. I didn't even say hello when I wanted to leave. Looking at the express shrimp disappearing into the clouds, Nami complained. Karina and Khalifa Robin were laughing non-stop. What a magical trip. Taxis all over the world are the same. Venom said with a smile, we're here, now start talking less and just follow the original route. Nami docked the sailboat on the shore, and all the Venom pirates got off the boat. The environment at Sky Island is significantly different from other islands on the Grand Line. There is no blue sea, it is pure white here. The girl group had surprised expressions on their faces, as if they were in a dream. Let's get it done first, let's take a good tour of this Sky Island. By the way, boss, don't we have a door that's not in use right now? Can it open a door directly to Alabasta? Faced with Nami's suggestion, Venom didn't know how to answer. I don't know how to use the Menmen fruit without trying it myself. Then, seeing that Venom was silent, Nami reminded him, if we connect Sky Island and Alabasta, wouldn't we be able to circulate goods? Maybe we can make a lot of money. If you want to get rich, build roads first. This little clever guy has a great idea. As the pirate group grows, the role among the members becomes more and more obvious. First, Karina proposed to kill God with one shot. This suggestion is likely to save Venom a lot of effort when dealing with Enel. Then Nami's business thinking expanded. Of course, Venom also understands what Nami means. In fact, Nami's original intention is to make a little money and sell goods. But here in Venom, he went deeper. He planned to make a profit as a middleman. To put it more simply, it is to collect tolls. Alabasta has experienced the ravages of crocodile, and the economy is in a period of weakness, but the goods on the ground, such as food, etc., and characteristic desert-style clothing, etc., are not available on Sky Island. The specialties on Sky Island, such as various shellfish, are also commodities. If the difference can lead to transactions, the profits will be considerable. But after all, Venom is the captain of the pirate group, not a businessman. So I never thought about it that way before. However, I traveled to the world of pirates alone, but some of the girl group members have families. But if it really works, Vivi can do a pilot and then cooperate with Alabasta officials to collect part of the money. 030. Of course, this can also bring convenience to people in both places. In fact, like the family forces on the sea, each one has its own industry. For example, I met the Don Quixote family recently. The boss is Shichibukai Doflamingo, who relies on selling devil fruit and weapons on the black market to earn profits to support the entire family. The Whitebeard pirates rely on capturing pirates, handing them over to bounty hunters, and then selling the pirates' heads to marine through bounty hunters to earn bounties. They are considered the largest bounty hunter organization on the sea. The same goes for Four Emperors Kaido. He occupied Wano-kuni just for the seastone weapons that were abundant there, and he also did business with the Don Quixote family. Red-haired Shanks also collects protection money on his own turf. Do the four emperors who have already conquered the sea like money? No, that's because they need money. Maintaining a huge force requires a huge amount of money. Even Mariajoy and naval headquarters are like this. Mariajoy, in particular, collects huge amounts of heavenly gold from all over the world every year, making some countries on the sea dare not speak out. According to Venom's understanding, it is enough for him to build a girl group in the first stage, but his longer-term plan cannot be just a pirate group. Now Nami raises doubts, making Venom pay attention. If the Gate Fruit proves to have the ability to travel through space, Venom will use the Gate Fruit as the core to build a business power and let others manage it. It seems that we need to find a suitable candidate first. If you want to get rich, build roads first. What the boss said makes sense. Khalifa adjusted her glasses and sighed. Half an hour later, Venom Pirate F found land and began to head towards the forest. 400 years ago, Apayado on the Kakai Sea was originally part of Gaia Island in the Qinghai Sea. It was brought to the Baibai Sea by the huge sky current 400 years ago. The people of Sky Island, who had never seen land, regarded it as a holy land and occupied Apayado and renamed it Island of Gods. Here, there is the current ruling god, Enel. Enel destroyed his hometown, Sky Island Burka, and came to the kingdom of gods. With his powerful strength, he defeated Gon-For and became the new god of the kingdom of gods, ruling the Sky Country with fear. In fact, Sky Island's territory is still very large, and the territory is also very large. It's just because of geography that it doesn't look like a country. At the same time, Apayado Deep, standing in a palace on the Island of Gods, a man wearing a white turban with an ant's head under the turban, long earlobes and earrings was lying on a sofa. His most distinctive features are his bare upper body, a thunder drum on his back, gold rings on his hands, bloomers on his lower body, and bare feet with rings on his toes. This person is Thunderfruit's ability user, Enel. At this time, Enel was yawning and biting his teeth. Lord God, there are people from under the sea who have come to God's territory. Listening to his men reporting on the situation of the Venom pirates, Enel immediately became unhappy, but his expression quickly returned to calm. He yawned and said, "Of course I know someone is coming up and bringing them to worship God. Well, I have to be more polite this time. Yes, Lord Kami." Kaido, the priest on the side, said respectfully. Enel is under the net of his heart, and nothing on Sky Island can escape his eyes. Even if there is an extra bird on a certain tree, he can know it. And he noticed early that the Venom pirates entered the territory of Sky Island. But what made him most unhappy was the look in those women's eyes. One by one, facing the so-called Captain Venom, they were filled with sadness. Even a god like him has never experienced this kind of adoration in his eyes. My group of subordinate priests look at the god of Sky Island with more fear than others. The intruders who had just arrived made Enel feel strongly unhappy because the crew worshipped the captain. Change to normal times. If he sees someone coming to God's territory, Enel will never say a word, and will give them a shot of God's sanction, first to let them see the power of God. But now, Enel doesn't do that. He will use what he thinks is the most polite way to invite the Venom pirates to his luxurious palace, and then in front of all the girl groups, he will use the power of God to repair Venom again. Then loudly declare to those women what is worthy of worship. On Sky Island, the only one who can be worshipped is him, the only true God. A little more time passed. The Venom pirates were walking among the forest and sea of clouds, eating Sky Island's special snacks along the way, talking and laughing, as if they were talking about the beautiful scenery on Sky Island. But there was no talk about Enel. At this time, a group of people with night guns emerged from the jungle. The leader is a man with a hairstyle like spider legs, wearing purple clothes, basically biting his upper lip and rolling his eyes, with a pair of white wings behind his back. Venom remembered that this person was one of the 4 god-tier officials on Sky Island, the priest in charge of the swamp trial, with a survival rate of 50%. The name is Gatas. Anyone who steps into God's territory is a criminal. Invaders, thank God for his forgiveness. You have been watched by God and have been favored by him. Come here, invite them to God's territory. Gatas looked down at everyone in the Venom Pirates, and then gave the order in an unquestionable tone. Following his order, the surrounding guards surrounded the Venom Pirates. Who are you? Nami was startled by the sudden appearance of Gatas, who said some middle-aged words. Ignorant mortals, you will understand after you see God. No way. Venom nodded, then lead the way. There was no further delay in this matter. Venom originally thought he was going to fight all the way to Enel's palace, but he didn't expect to receive an invitation. Although the other party was very rude, Venom wanted to slap him to death, but he could get things to the point quickly. Whose loneliness is there in such a thing? So, under the leadership of the priest Gatas, Venom and his team walked all the way thinking about the destination. And during this journey, the members of the Venom Pirates are still very curious about everything around them. For the girl group, capturing the Thunder Fruit seems to be secondary this time. Traveling is the main thing. He was challenged again by the priest Gatas. Why do these people act like they have never seen the world? Why should they receive courtesy from God? However, since Enel has given the order, Gatas could only comply. Otherwise, with Gatas's character, he would have killed people on the way. Getting closer to Enel's palace. At this time, the sky began to change. There was thunder among the clouds. Thunder and lightning also fell from time to time, but the lightning strikes were always around the girl group. Seeing the sudden thunder, Karina and others couldn't help but twitch their eyebrows and dodge subconsciously. In fact, they already understood in their hearts that this was the devil fruit ability of the god of Sky Island, which controls thunder. Venom couldn't help but smile. Based on Enel's arrogant character, he probably guessed that the other party was not so kind, and it was probably because Setu had given him a blow before he even started. In the end, the cruelty of the god of Sky Island will be exposed. It's worth saying, this time, Enel kicked the first iron brick in his life, and it was the last iron brick. At the same time, in the palace, Enel was lying on the sofa, gently tapping the drum behind him with a golden stick. Enel is very satisfied with the girl group's somewhat evasive performance. He deliberately did not use the power of thunder to attack the pirates, but to show the power of God first, and then make them feel what it means to be completely desperate. In Enel's eyes, these people who came down from the sea were just toys that I played with at will. Ever since he ruled Sky Island, toys have been brought up every year by soaring sea currents. So that I, the god of Sky Island, would not be so boring. At this moment, the guests haven't arrived yet, and Enel can't help but punish them. Enel holds a golden rod. Yahaha, yahaha. Laughing, he walked directly outside the palace. While walking, he said to another priest, "They are just a group of mortals, we cannot let them dirty my palace." Not long after, Gatas led a team of guards and brought the Venom Pirates to a courtyard. And in the courtyard, a long table has been set up, with some Sky Island food and fruits placed on it. It was like a banquet. God's stage is set. The show is about to begin. As Venom and others arrived, they saw various fruit plates placed in the courtyard. Enel's favorite apple is on it. It's like a welcome ceremony. The Venom Pirates were here to cause trouble, but seeing how enthusiastic they were, the girl group couldn't believe it. They all said they were a little embarrassed to take action. Rumble. Before they could sit down, countless thunder and lightning fell in an endless stream. There were explosions all around. Above the sky, blue-white electric light flashed, and huge thunder pillars descended from top to bottom. The blazing blue light seemed to shatter the earth. The roaring explosion can be heard directly in the distant towns. Many Sky Island residents began to run outside to watch and discuss. Is this someone else going to be sanctioned? Shut up, don't let God hear you. We didn't see anything. Very scary. In the palace courtyard, such thunder and lightning continued. The sky that was originally daytime has become even more pure white. However, although the ability of thunder and lightning looked terrifying, the Venom Pirates did not show fear because everything was within their expectations. When the thunder and lightning dissipated, we saw that the earth was devastated. Huge potholes were smoking, as if they were scorched. The sudden appearance of power made the girl group feel the history of Thunder Fruit. Sure enough, it lives up to its reputation as the strongest Logia devil fruit. As expected of the boss's favorite devil fruit. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Crazy laughter kept ringing. A figure walked slowly from the side of the yard with a big smile. He moved very slowly, not at all frightened by the thunder and lightning around him. As if telling everyone in Venom, he is the Thunder Fruit user. All this was created by him. What you have in front of is God, kneel down to show your piety. At this time, Gatas stared at Venom and the others and said in a condescending tone. Gatas, didn't I tell you to be polite to your guests? Enel came laughing. Khalifa subconsciously complained, kneel down. Kneel down and run around. Are you sick? They had been prepared for a long time and showed indifference to the enemy's harsh words. Although the thunder just now was very scary, as long as you use your sense of sight to dodge and advance, you have a high chance of avoiding it. Seeing the expressions of Enel and the priest, Nami also showed contempt. The performance of the Venom pirates. Enel was immediately confused. Could it be that everything I did before was useless? Don't they know that I created the thunder and lightning? Welcome, I am Enel, the only true god of Sky Island. After introducing himself, Enel suddenly changed the subject and became serious. Maybe people don't fear God, but fear itself is God. You will feel God's fear in your heart. In terms of enlightenment, you still need to practice more. Why don't you let God help you? Electric arcs began to dance on Enel's fingers, and then arcs began to dance all over his body, and the sound of thunder and thunder became louder and louder, loud enough for everyone to hear clearly. He tapped his shoulder with the golden stick, and with a powerful momentum like a hungry wolf, he rushed towards the poison. But Nami and others are still indifferent. Who do you think you are? Karina sneered. A sniper shot was already aimed at Enel. It contains seastone bullets. If you are careless, it will kill the ability user. Moreover, Karina is now a firearms expert, and she has come up with a special method of torturing people with abilities. Karina's sneer voice reached Enel's ears. Common people, how dare you point that useless gun at me? Yeah, ha 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 ha, I am a god. Let me show you something interesting, so that you can see the power of God. As he said that, Enel looked at Venom. Before that, Enel couldn't stand the adoring looks that the girl group members looked at Venom. The same is true now. But even now, I still have this look of admiration. Enel is going to kill Venom in front of the girl group and then gouge out their eyes. This is the fate of disobedience to God, said. Enel instantly turned into a bolt of lightning. Zahn appeared in front of Venom. The next second he stretched out his arm and pointed directly at Venom's forehead, about to make contact. This is Enel's inherent trick of teasing his enemies. A small amount of thunder and lightning is released through the fingertips, blinding the opponent's eyes and greatly shocking the opponent. See Enel take action. The priests all took a step back, because they knew very well how powerful Enel was. Just this blow could paralyze a giant beast and lose its ability to move. If you still stay where you are, you will definitely be affected by the thunder. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. What happened? Just when Enel was about to release his power and prepared to destroy their idols in front of the girl group, he suddenly felt a sense of powerlessness. Because the moment Enel took action, a faster hand directly grabbed his arm, immediately causing him to lose all abilities. He could no longer mobilize the power of lightning in his body, and even felt a sense of powerlessness. Is this the god of Sky Island? A burst of quicksand-like black mist emerged from Venom's hand, spiraled up and climbed directly onto Enel's arm. He suddenly became weak and a hoarse voice burst out of his mouth. Discharge. Discharge. Let me go. Under Dark Fruit's restraint and the extremely powerful Venom, Enel could not move. At this time, Enel's face was covered with sweat. He had never thought that one day his Thunder Fruit, the god's ability, would become ineffective. What the hell is this darkness? Why can it seal my Thunder Fruit ability? Venom's expression was very calm, and he never thought that things would go so smoothly. I assume you have never been sanctioned. Wait, you still want to sanction me? Enel was a little nervous. Because the other party's ability is really weird. It can actually seal the power of God. This was the first time he felt nervous since eating Thunder Fruit. Stop, I'm the god of Sky Island. Enel's tone became a little softer, and he no longer had the arrogance before. However, although Liquid had no intention of letting him go, just when Enel was about to take action, he angered Venom. And if he lets go now, Enel can use the lightning speed to escape, and this trip to Sky Island will be in vain. Now Venom has changed his mind. He felt that Enel's character was not worthy of a quick death. Periphery. The various priests and guards under Enel were instantly frightened. This was the first time they had seen God in such a state of embarrassment. Unexpectedly, only one hand was grabbed by others, and he lost the ability to move. God is a lightning man. Why didn't he use lightning to attack the guy called Venom? This is just something that requires God's thought. At this time, Venom turned to Karina and said, "Karina, just shoot." After getting Venom's order, Karina didn't hesitate, aimed directly at Enel's head and pulled the trigger. No, Enel was completely panicked, and now he understood the situation. Rather than the other party's ability to make him lose the Thunder Fruit, he was even more afraid of the terrifying power of the Venom. Enel felt that the bones in his hand had cracked, and he felt a heartbreaking pain. The Thunder Fruit cannot be used, which means that the ability to elementalize has disappeared, and all physical damage cannot be avoided. Firearms and firearms that were once looked down upon have now become extremely dangerous. After years of training in the hard network, Enel himself has observation hockey. Under such circumstances, he saw Karina's finger pulling the trigger. Even, the bullet has emerged from the barrel. The target is exactly the center of his eyebrows. Stop it. Boom. In an instant, a gunshot resounded across the ground. The bullet cut through the air at extremely high speed. He came to Enel with a whoosh. At this moment, Enel felt like his heart was going to beat out. However, headshots haven't gone away. Instead, Venom grabbed the bullet with his bare hands. Wait, let me go, I am a person favored by God. I still have infinite land to conquer, what about us together? Let's conquer that infinite land together. Enel was thinking about getting out of Venom's control at this moment, and then using Thunder Fruit to escape. This Sky Island is too dangerous, so don't wait. The key is to escape now. And in the next second, Venom directly grabbed the Seastone bullet. A finger pistol stabbed Enel in the chest with a Seastone bullet. Finger pistol. Immediately, Enel's flesh exploded. Then he was thrown aside by Venom and couldn't move. The Seastone bullet only needs to penetrate into the body of the Esper. It can make it lose its ability and enter a weak state. At the same time, the Venom is so powerful that the bullet cannot be removed unless surgery is performed. And Enel, who has not gone through any specific training, is still a person who is unable to fight back from now on. This is one of the reasons why Venom requires the crew to practice Seastone adaptability. Otherwise, if I get hit by a Seastone bullet one day, I won't be completely helpless. After throwing Enel out, the priests were all shocked. At the same time, I felt happy. As long as the god Enel escapes from that dark palm, the next step will be his moment of thunderous rage. But, a minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 5 minutes passed. Enel was lying on the ground unable to move at all. What's going on? Obviously I'm out of control, but now I can't even try at all. Enel felt the wound on his chest, and the bullet had moved inside the chest. I don't even know where it is now. He had completely miscalculated. I could only lie softly on the ground, not even having the strength to roll. Karina blew away the smoke from the sniper rifle and came to Venom. Venom looked at these priests and said, "Is this the god you believe in?" Seeing Enel unable to move and coughing up blood, the 4 priests and guards were completely panicked. No one expected that things would develop like this. It had only been 5 minutes since the Venom pirates arrived at the palace. What was originally thought to be God's moment of performance turned out to be God accepting punishment. Enel's men felt that their worldview was collapsing. The person lying weakly on the ground is no longer the invincible God in their hearts. More like a lamb still being slaughtered. There is only one thought in everyone's mind. Run away. However, no one dared to take the first step. The powerful combat power displayed by the Venom pirates has broken down the inner defenses of the Sky Island priest. Cooperate with that extremely accurate sniper. Plus those girl groups that haven't taken action yet. Now, which one doesn't look like a ruthless person? The girl group has a different experience. Although Enel did not attack them, the thunderous ability displayed was already shocking. Nami is a Logia demon fruit power. From the first encounter, it can be seen that Thunder Fruit's ability is much more domineering than Mera Fruit. But even so, it's just a matter of one bullet from Venom boss. What could have been solved by Karina with a bullet was now captured by the Venom and sent directly into Enel's chest, completely incapacitating him and leaving him in a miserable state. What could be the reason? Just because the Venom pirates are all ability users. The boss is personally demonstrating the suppression ability brought by Seastone. The boss has worked hard for us and let us adapt to Seastone's restraint ability in advance. Otherwise, if we are plotted against in the future, we will be like the god of Sky Island lying on the ground. After Nami figured it out, he turned around and said solemnly, Nami is right, the boss is too far-sighted. He has already planned everything, including all our weaknesses. Yulina agreed with Nami's words. Robin looked at the scene in front of him and nodded. She had seen records about Thunder Fruit in the record book before. It was the most powerful Logia ability. It not only had high attack power, but also had ultimate speed and various auxiliary functions. Unexpectedly, just one Seastone bullet can make a Thunder Fruit user look like a dead dog. Khalifa stood aside and watched everything happening in front of him without speaking. She adjusted her glasses to calm herself down. According to her understanding, as long as the person who owns this Thunder Fruit does not deliberately seek death, he can be invincible in front of Marine Admiral just by relying on the fruit's ability. This is also the reason why he can dominate Sky Island. But such a capable person couldn't even raise his hand in front of Boss Venom. My boss is not simple. From Bluenose Gate Fruit in the Seven Waters City to Sky Island Enel's Thunder Fruit, this continuous intelligence control has made Boss Venom invincible. Joining yourself is the most correct choice. No wonder the other sisters admire the boss so much. At this moment, Khalifa looked at Venom and couldn't help but blush. Boss, he is too powerful. This is the sense of security that everyone relies on. Why, I don't understand. Enel felt as if all his strength had been drained away, and he could only make a weak voice, who are you? He really couldn't understand why this was happening. Obviously he has godlike abilities and has achieved the status of god on Sky Island. Revered by all the people of Sky Island. And this stranger who had just come to Sky Island seemed to have seen through everything about him. Before he could play tricks on him, the other party took action and threw him into hell. Who is he? Did he come to Sky Island because he wanted to target him? Now, Enel regretted endlessly. He should not have led them into the palace, he should not have teleported in front of him and been caught by one hand, and he should not have provoked him. At this moment, Enel's pride was shattered. But it's already too late. You don't need to understand. Either people learn to be smart, or they remain ignorant. This will make it more enjoyable. Darkness spread from Venom's hands, swallowing Enel bit by bit like claws. Feeling the cold darkness, Enel's heart became colder and colder, and he was already trembling uncontrollably. This terrifying dark power makes people's hearts tremble. No, you can't do this. Boom, with a gunshot. A burst of blood burst out from Enel's chest. 2 bullets pierced through his back at the same time and directly hit the wall behind him. Under the control of Dark Fruit's ability and Seastone, God's body is so vulnerable. Kill the god with one shot. At this time, Enel had no chance of living at all. Immediately afterwards, he was slowly sunk into the ground by darkness. Venom has already arranged various fruits in the dark space. The ritual to capture the devil fruit is very convenient and has already begun as Enel escapes into the darkness. 1 minute later, Enel's body was thrown out of the dark space. In Venom's hand, there was a strange fruit about the size of 2 fists, which was translucent sky blue and had thunder and lightning patterns on the flesh. This is Logia Thunder Fruit. A very beautiful devil fruit, and of course very powerful. It has to be said that a lot of resources on the sea have been taken away by Venom. Mera Fruit, Sand Fruit, Phantom Beast Vampire Form, Dark Fruit, Door Fruit, and now Thunder Fruit. Each ability has its own role, they are all the best in the West. The remaining Devil Fruit abilities that Venom likes are all among some major forces. According to the current capital, the Venom pirates are enough to establish a foothold on the sea. Become a leader like the 4 emperors. Therefore, Venom plans to find a host specifically for Thunder Fruit after this trip to Sky Island. take everyone's abilities to the next level. When the girl group appears again, it will surely shake the sea. Is this still a god? The priests looked at Enel's body and did not dare to approach it. Even though Enel is dead, the fear that brought everyone before has not dissipated. Everyone was shaking. They know their results. Soon, Venom's order was passed on. The girl group took action together and wiped out all of Enel's remnants in just one breath. These priests are still bodyguards. Over the years, with Enel's acquiescence, they have been dominating Sky Island and ruling cruelly. Large areas of the island have been included in their territory. Sky Island is a country where land resources are very scarce, and even then, they are occupying them. Venom did not choose to destroy Enel's body, but prepared to let all Sky Islanders see that the god who once frightened everyone was dead. After planning Thunder Fruit this time, and getting inspiration from Nami, Venom is ready to turn Sky Island into his own sphere of influence. Of course, Venom doesn't want to rule as cruelly as Enel. Instead, adopt a more genial approach. It takes time. However, the top priority is to reward the girl group. It's time to leave, let's go find Golden Shantara. Burn Enel's palace with fire. Venom leads the girl group towards the Golden City. Here, there is not only an ancient city, but also a lot of gold, especially a golden clock on the vines with historical text and even lunar technology. The Ark of Proverbs is under construction. Along the way, the girl group members were pleasantly surprised. Nami and Karina both love money, so naturally they yearn for Shantara, the land of gold. Nico Robin is also very interested in history. After Venom told her that there was a historical text, Robin was pleasantly surprised and immediately came to hold Venom's arm. Khalifa took out a notebook and started making plans. After working as a secretary for Bingshan Qian Zhao for several years, Khalifa's ability is undoubted and she can often plan everything well. Now Khalifa is doing the captain's material planning and itinerary planning. After Venom and others left, the palace's fire began to rise violently. The billowing smoke was visible to everyone on Sky Island. What happened? The palace of God was burned down. No way. Who did it? I can't believe it. Could it be that God's rule is over? Gradually, more and more people saw this scene. Following word of mouth, all Sky Island residents came out of their homes and looked from a distance. A fire. Is the god of Sky Island about to fall? Let's go. Follow me and take a look. Under the leadership of someone, some brave Sky Island residents took weapons and set off in the direction of the palace. Sky Island has been ruled by Enel for so many years, and the residents have long suffered. They have resisted, but they have been punished by Enel every time, and now they rarely resist. But in everyone's heart, there are seeds of resistance. Now seeing God's palace being burned down by fire, everyone needs the truth. A long-awaited truth. Chapter 91. Hundreds of years ago, there was Gaia Island on the Grand Line. The city on the island is called Shantara, which means, splendid city. Shantara is known as the Golden Town. Everything in the city is made of gold, especially a big golden bell in the city. Whenever it rings, the bell resounds through the sky. This majestic bell once guided Umbra Rolando, and was considered by the residents of Sky Island to be the voice of God when he flew to Sky Island. Under the golden clock is a stone tablet recording the real history, which is the text of history. 400 years ago, upstream currents washed half of Gaia Island into the sky and became Sky Island. And the golden land Shantara also fell asleep on Sky Island. Found it. This is Shantara, the land of gold. When the Venom pirates arrived at Shantara, they were shocked by the ruins in front of them. The architectural style of the entire city's ruins is similar to that of the Mayan civilization. There are many magnificent pyramids, but because no one has taken care of them for a long time, they are all covered with moss. Venom flew into the sky, overlooking the entire city. Because of the passage of 400 years of history and the war on Sky Island, many people arrived at Shantara and took away most of the gold, with only a small amount of gold remaining. In addition, Enel, the god of Sky Island, wants to build the Ark of Proverbs, and its main material is gold. Another wave of gold was harvested in Shantara. But even so, if all the gold is really found, its gold value would be tens of billions if converted into Baileys. Wow, there really is gold here. Nami found a palm-sized golden bowl in the corner, and his eyes were filled with sparkles at the moment. When Karina heard this, she immediately got excited and started running around. After a while, a wine flask made of pure gold appeared in her hand. She patted the dust on it and said, "I found it too. It's amazing. It's really the land of gold. Haha, the Venom Pirates treasure hunt competition has begun." Venom ignored Nami and the others. Just treat them as if they have entered a playground and let them play freely. At the same time, he stretched out his bloody wings from his back, grabbed Robin's waist, and flew directly towards the sky. Because the biggest and most important treasure in Shantora is a big bell made of gold in the middle of the city. Originally, the golden clock was in the center of Shantora City. But because of a huge vine, it was pushed directly into the clouds above Sky Island. Regardless of the amount of gold itself or the historical text at the bottom of the golden clock. They are the most precious things in the entire tongue. He was carried straight into the sky by Venom. Robin was delighted. Soon, the two reached the top of the vine. "I didn't expect that the land of gold really exists. It's just that for 400 years, Sky Island has been unbelievable." Robin's eyes were full of shock when he saw the huge golden clock in front of him. Venom smiled. "Incredible things have happened. There are countless secrets in this world. Open black lens bracket. I came here. Take this article to the end of the world, Gall D. Roger." On the base of the golden clock, there are ancient words carved by Roger before. At this moment, Robin and Venom were standing in front of the text of history, and a line of text was clearly visible. Robin was a little excited. "Boss, this is the text left by the Pirate King. He has been here before." The reason why she was excited was that Roger, the Pirate King, actually knew ancient writing and left a message here. Could that mean that Gall D. Roger was connected to O'Hara or related to the final island? Well, there's someone on the Pirate King's ship who knows ancient writing, and he's from Wano. Actually, in addition to the historical text that records a 100-year blank period, there is also an inscription with the coordinates of Raftel, the final island. Roger also found the final island because of his interpretation of the historical text. Maria Joy also pursued you for so long because you were able to decipher ancient texts and were afraid that the truth would be exposed. Robin nodded. It becomes more meaningful to interpret the historical text yourself. "No, I have some information. The families who made the historical text and the masons who carved the 10 blocks are all from Wano. I will take you there if I have the opportunity in the future." Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Hearing Venom's words, Robin's eyes widened. The family that produced the historical text, are they still living in this world? There are still people who can produce historical texts. Then O'Hara is not a loner. At this point in time, I'm not sure if the Masons of Wano still exist, but what is certain is that the historical text is the clue that connects everything, and you are the only one currently within Maria Joy's sight. The only interpreter. Robin was silent for a moment and nodded. She knew she was still in danger. But since Boss Venom has told everything, it proves that this matter is under his control. And Robin completely trusts Venom, and this sense of security is unprecedented. She echoed the conversation she had when she first met Venom. He said he would always protect Robin. When you see more historical texts in the future, you will understand. You should first interpret this historical text. By the way, in addition to this historical text, there is also a historical text in the recent Alabasta Desert. What? That's great. I'll ask Vivi to take me there. Robin was shocked today. Thank you, boss. Okay, you go ahead and get busy. I'll wait for you. Don't rush to tell me. We will listen to this story after all the historical text information is sorted out. Quote exclamation mark quote. Half an hour later. Robin has already recorded all the historical text. This historical text records the location of Poseidon. However, when Robin looked at Venom, it seemed that he was not interested. In other words, he already knows the content of the historical text. Boss, do you know Poseidon? Really, she was discovered. Venom smiled. I know, I also know who Poseidon is. We will look for her in the future. Have you recorded it? Saying that, Robin immediately hugged Venom excitedly. As expected of his boss, he knows so much. What about this golden clock? The boss can completely use the power of the black hole to suck it into the dark space and compress it into any shape. After seeing Venom's ability in the capital of Seven Waters, Robin directly stated an ideal method. The texture of gold is very soft, and many people rely on biting it with their teeth to identify gold. Because if you just bite it, teeth marks will appear on the gold. The power of black holes is much more powerful and can cast gold into any shape. This golden clock, Venom thought for a moment, leave it here for now, I will ring it myself in the future. This is related to one of my plans, and it is also part of history. The existence of the golden clock cannot be measured by money. It suddenly occurred to him that he now possesses the Menman fruit. Although he has not found a suitable eater, this power will always reach him. When flying to the top of the vine, Venom was thinking about whether the golden clock could play a greater role. There is no doubt that under the sky is Gaia Island. Whether it is Sky Island or Gaia Island, the story of Rolando is spread. Even as far away as the North Blue, Rolando the Liar is still a well-known fairy tale. More than 400 years ago, Umbra Rolando, the expedition admiral and botanist of the Kingdom of North Blue Lubnir, came to Gaia Island to escape a storm during the Third Grand Line trip, which happened to save the lives of people suffering from tree fever. The Sandia clan was attacked by the disease, and the traditional ritual of human sacrifice was ended. He also became a good friend at first sight with the great warrior, Calgara. However, Rolando saved Sandia, but because he cut down all Sandia's sacred trees, in the process, he was misunderstood by the tribe as a sinner who violated traditions and beliefs. After Calgara issued an eviction order to drive them away, he learned from Moose the reason why they cut down the tree, which became something he regretted extremely. Close black lens bracket. In 1127, Rolando was ordered by the king to return to Gaia Island to search for gold. At this time, Gaia Island had been washed up in the White Sea. Because he could not find the land of gold, he committed the crime of deceiving the king. Rolando was executed. He was also dubbed the King of Big Talk. So, in Venom's view, the golden clock is like a token that convinces everyone of Rolando. Its existence itself has centripetal force. It may even be possible to revive the civilization of Shantora. If you just use the golden species to replace Bailey, it will undoubtedly be a waste of resources. In such a situation, Venom is preparing to cultivate forces outside the crew, and the importance of the golden bell, which is like a token, is self-evident. As for when to ring the golden bell, Venom feels that the time has not come yet. Now that we have settled the matter of the historical text, let's go down. See Venom's take on the golden clock. Robin felt that Venom's charm had increased. What the boss said is great, the value of history cannot be measured by money. Let's go see what Nami's little money fan has gained. With that said, Venom jumped down with Robin in his arms. Jump from the air and glide all the way to the ground of Shantora. Venom and Robin saw gold piled all over the floor. The three girl group members are already on standby. Seeing the arrival of Venom, Nami pulled Robin aside and whispered in Robin's ear, "Robin, are you talking to the boss again?" Quote. No, we just went inside the clouds and studied the history. Robin spread his hands, looking innocent. I really didn't run away this time. I am really studying history seriously. Nami didn't believe Robin's words. What? Can this also happen in the clouds? Robin. On the ground, there are scattered gold products. Wine glasses, wine bottles, various utensils, pure gold nuggets, and some gold bricks, or broken pieces. It's shiny, made entirely of gold, and the craftsmanship is very exquisite. The value is extremely high at first glance. Boss, these are all cultural relics, and their value is much higher than gold exchanged for Baileys. Just this pile, there are at least 3 billion Baileys here. Karina rubbed her hands, looking like a money addict. Really? That's great, then you don't have to save money in the future. Venom smiled. What? We haven't been short of money since we followed the boss. Yes, Nami is absolutely right. This is. As far as Venom could see, he saw a knife among the pair of gold products. It looks very delicate. There was also a faint evil spirit flickering between the scabbards. It is relatively heavy to hold in the hand, but after pulling it out, the entire blade exudes a strong momentum. Venom tries to cover with armament hockey. Found out it didn't work. It actually has the effect of blocking armament hockey. Then wouldn't its power become smaller? How could there be a sword with such a design? The blade of this knife is very long. The spine is relatively thick. The blade is a large reverse T-shaped blade. The blade is golden yellow, and there are dark golden zigzag patterns on the blade. It's golden in the sun, but it's freezing cold. The blade is so powerful that even if Venom uses all its strength, it cannot bend at even 1 millimeter. But under Venom's observation, he found that only a small amount of this sword was made of gold, and the other materials were golden metals similar to gold. As for what it was, he didn't know. Venom took out the knife, not using any skills but relying on brute force. One time, he split the boulder on one side in half. The blade does not have any curls and is obviously extremely sharp. The cut surfaces of the stone are neat and smooth, like mirror surfaces. This is definitely a famous sword. Venom doesn't know much about swords. He only knows 3 great swords. First generation Ki Tetsu in the hands of the 5 elders, Black Blade Knight in the hands of Hawkeye, and Kong Yunchi in the hands of Whitebeard. And some of the 21 works of Autumn Water, etc. The style of this knife is similar to Chushui, but the difference in color makes the 2 knives look very different. The strong toughness of the knife in front of you can make it join the ranks of famous swords. The design is very good. Who found this? Venom asked. Boss, I found the big golden sword. Nami raised his hand. I saw a glimmer of light in the cracks of the stone, and then used Fire Fist and Big Orange to smash a small pyramid into pieces before taking it out. This great golden sword. As he spoke, Nami pointed in a direction. Venom looked forward and could see the pile of rocks that had been blasted away. This guy doesn't even look like a pyramid. You must know that everything here is a ruin. The ruins must be excavated slowly. Too much violence is not good. Well done. Venom smiled and took the shining golden sword into his hands. Boss, actually when I found the big golden sword, there was a broken book next to it. What book? I'll look for it. Nami rummaged through the gold products and finally found a broken book in a gold vase. It's said to be a book, but it's actually just a few pieces of paper. In fact, there is nothing recorded in this book. It just explains the origin of the golden sword clearly. After reading, Venom and others also learned the origin of this sword. It turns out that this sword also has a name, the Sword of Pharaoh Bast. 800 years ago, a golden meteorite fell from the sky and was identified as meteorite. So the king of Shambhala commissioned his friend Wanokuni to use the meteorite to create this precious sword. Bast is the sword of King Shantora. However, after King Shantora disappeared inexplicably, the sword of Bast was sealed in the pyramid for the purpose of suppressing the country. I never expected that this town would bring the country to the sky 400 years later. There is no doubt that this is a precious sword. And the reason why Venom took him into his pocket is also very simple. On board now, Nami is a long-range magician who can fight with just his hands and generally does not need weapons. Karina has a vampire constitution and is good at close combat. She is also a sniper on the ship and cannot use swords. Robin is more of a support, and Flower Fruit does not require her to use weapons. In addition, her personality is more tactful and she likes to engage in sneak attacks and assassinations, so she does not need weapons. As for Khalifa, a dark fruit user, physical skills such as Marine 6 styles are her standard equipment. At the same time, she is good at using whips, and her fighting style has nothing to do with swords. As for Venom himself, he is almighty. The skill of swordsmanship was obtained when he was parasitic on Khalifa. Under such circumstances, this famous sword naturally fell on Venom. There was a call in his heart. A transparent panel immediately appeared. Host. Venom. The first parasite host. Nami 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. Second parasite host. Karina 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. The third parasite. Nico Robin 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. The fourth parasite. Nefeltari Vivi 15%. The fifth parasite. Khalifa 43%. Fruit abilities. Mara fruit, flower fruit, sand fruit, phantom beast vampire form, dark fruit. Combat skills. Marine 6 styles, armament hockey, observation hockey, swordsmanship. The way to fight in the world of pirates is not complicated. Taijutsu represented by Marine 6 styles, are boxing techniques like Garp. Swordsmanship represented by Hawkeye. There are also hockey-type battles and the battle between Devil Fruit. The current Venom, in terms of ability, is just inferior to Conqueror's Hockey. After acquiring a new parasite, it won't take long for Conqueror's Hockey to be activated. Since this time, Venom has also tried to communicate with the Conquerors, but found nothing. He determined that only parasitism would make him stronger. Who should I choose? Seeing that Venom likes the big golden sword very much, Nami frowned. Boss, would you like to reward me with a trip to the clouds? Clouds? What do you mean? Venom was confused but said, but now I'd better pack up the gold and I'll reward you later. I heard Nami talking about the clouds. Robin was snickering on the side. Khalifa nodded and slapped it directly on the ground. Circles of quicksand-like black flames appeared on the ground. Various pure gold artifacts began to sink slowly, and finally disappeared. The baby sank into the dark space in an instant. Boss, now that everything has been taken care of, where should we go next? Go and have a nice walk on Sky Island. That's great. We just got so much gold and can buy a lot of things. Venom is ready to learn about the customs on Sky Island before deciding whether to implement his plan. At this time, there was a commotion behind the ruins. Soon, two groups of people gathered around them. On the left are the Aborigines living on Sky Island. They all have tentacle-like headdresses made of hair. They wear two feathers on their backs for a long time as decoration. They are not born with wings and cannot move or fly. On the other side are the Sandians. They originally lived on Gaia Island in Qinghai. As part of Gaia Island was carried into the sky by the currents, they were driven out of their homeland by the god of Sky Island 400 years ago. They were called gorillas. These two teams have been fighting for 400 years. The costumes of the two teams are different, so it is easy for Venom to tell them apart. Because Enel's palace had been burned down, when the two teams arrived at the same time, they were not particularly jealous because of their enemies meeting, but instead looked at the common enemy Lien. However, they did not find Enel. Instead, he saw Enel's dead men on the ground. 4 priests, and some guards. They knew that something big must have happened at Sky Island. One reason is that Enel got angry and killed everyone. The other is that unknown forces appear and overthrow the rule of God. According to the footprints, they found Shantora along the way. Saw Venom and others. Excuse me, are you doing the things at the shrine? The leader was an old man named Whitebeard. He was wearing a silver white armor and holding a cone-shaped spear in his hand, like an old warrior from the west. Seeing the visitor, Venom's memory suddenly came out. Gonful, a god who loves his people on Sky Island, originally lived a happy and healthy life. But later, with the appearance of Enel, he forcibly occupied the throne of God and ruled Sky Island. Enel, who owns the Thunder Fruit, is invincible, and anyone who disobeys him will be punished by God. However, Gonfor did not give up on Sky Island, and still silently saved the people and governed the country, doing many things behind the scenes. Gonfor also tried to coexist peacefully with the Sandians, but found that he could not accept anyone, so he divided the forces of Sky Island into 3 parties. Enel's rule is the common enemy of both parties. In Venom's view, the so-called god is just a position above Sky Island. It's me, it's us. As Venom finished speaking, the 2 parties led by Gonfor and Weber were immediately shocked. A look of disbelief. What? It was really you who did it? Impossible, absolutely impossible. If you burn down God's palace, you will definitely be punished by God. Gonfor looked surprised, but after thinking about it, he felt that this was impossible. In Gonfor's subconscious mind, Enel is invincible and impossible to defeat. If it is really Venom and others who burn down the palace, then Enel will definitely impose divine sanctions. Now there is nothing wrong with Venom and the others, and their clothes are not even stained. It can only prove that they have nothing to do with this matter. Therefore, it was ignored by Enel. Impossible, there must be something happening in Apayado that we don't know about. Weber, like Gonfor, had the word disbelief on his face. This is the hometown of the Sandians. Their ancestors were injured by the currents from the sea to Sky Island. There have been battles with the Sky Island Aboriginal people over the years. Just hope to regain the territory of their ancestors. However, because land is too rare on Sky Island, there is constant competition with the Sky Island Knights led by Gon 490, and with the sudden arrival of Enel, everyone knew the gap between themselves and God. Now, some people actually say that they burned down Enel's palace. No matter how hyped it is, Weber and others could not believe this was true. Please leave from here. After scanning it again, Gon 4 found the sword on Venom and immediately frowned. He knew that Sky Island often attracted treasure hunters, and it was obvious that Venom and the others in front of them were treasure hunters. However, they didn't gain much this time, they just got a sword, which was not a big deal for Sky Island. Loss. Moreover, Ganfer had heard before that a group of people came up from below and brought a lot of Baileys. These were the people in front of him. Ganfer originally wanted to cooperate with them, but now he saw Venom on him. Ganfu couldn't help but hate the sword. Meanwhile, the most important thing now is to find Enel. There is also a guard against the Sandian troops led by Weber. Therefore, Gon 4 does not want to cause new trouble with the Venom pirates. I just want them to leave Sky Island as soon as possible. Get out of here quickly, Sky Island is not a place for you to stay. A guard followed. And things suddenly changed. After Weber saw the sword of Pharaoh Buster hanging on Venom, he was immediately frightened and rushed over to snatch it. Full attack shell. War Ghost Weber immediately used all his moves and immediately surrounded him. The shellfish is a kind of Sky Island shellfish and has a very wide range of uses. It is a specialty of Sky Island. Sky Island shell refers to the special shell found in Sky Island. Daily life in Sky Island uses shells extensively as lamps, stoves, and even recorders. The platoon shell in Weber's hand is specially used for combat and can release powerful shock waves. But who are the Venom pirates? They are a super pirate group that can challenge the Marine Admiral head-on. How could a girl group allow others to take action against their leader? Khalifa dodged and used his long legs wearing fishnets to instantly launch a kick. Tempest kick. Boom. Before Weber could attack Venom, he was hit hard and flew backwards. That is our legendary sword of Sandia. Weber's ancestor Calgara originally lived on Gaia Island in Qinghai. As part of Gaia Island was carried into the sky by the soaring currents, he was driven out of his home by the god of Sky Island 400 years ago. Among their tribesmen, there have been texts about various treasures, including the Golden Bell and the Sword of Pharaoh Bast, which are sacred objects to the Sandians. Unless it is someone who can lead Sandia to glory, anyone who does it will be a stain on the holy relics. Now, Weber also knew that these people were the treasure hunters who came to Sky Island. If the Sword of Pharaoh Bast is taken away by the Venom, then the sacred object that Sandia values will never be able to get back, so the most powerful move is the Pello shell. But he didn't expect that the other party would kick him with just one move. Immediately unable to move, Gon 4 was a little confused. He didn't know why this happened. Is this your Sandia's legendary sword? Sorry, after today, the Sword of Pharaoh Bast is mine, and no one can take it away. Venom makes no secret of his purpose. Besides, it has been 400 years since Shantora was washed away by the soaring sea currents to Sky Island. During these 400 years, the Sword of Pharaoh Bast has been in the pyramid, and it is an ownerless thing. Now that Nami has finally been found, Venom has no intention of giving up. Besides, the Sword of Pharaoh Bast belonged to the king of Shantora, and in Venom's view, Weber was just a ghost warrior of the Sandia tribe. Okay, no more nonsense. Aren't you looking for Enel? I will let you see him now. What? Venom finished speaking. The whole place fell silent. When they heard the name, Enel, both Ganfer and Weber were filled with fear. Is that God about to appear? Images of lightning and thunder flashed through their minds at the same time, and the roaring sound of electricity, combined with the figure of Enel who came and went without a trace, suddenly exploded in their minds. Horrible, terrible. When they really had to face Enel, Ganfer and Weber realized that they couldn't overcome the fear in their hearts. Because Enel's palace was burned down, everyone went crazy. Now, with the words, "Let Enel come from heaven," from Venom's mouth, everything is brought back to reality. Venom gave a signal and Khalifa nodded. Directly mobilize the dark space, and find Enel's body existing in the darkness with just one thought. A black mist like quicksand flew out of Khalifa's palm, deposited directly in midair. The next second, Khalifa controlled a non-space and threw Enel's body out. Liberation. Boom. Ganfuer and Webb looked at the sky at the same time. The dark material made them startled. For so many years, there has been only one devil fruit, Thunder Fruit, on Sky Island. And Thunder Fruit's godlike ability caused endless pain to the entire Sky Island. Now, another dark divine power appears in front of everyone. How can they not be shocked? Ganfu curled up his beard and his eyes almost popped out. Weber opened his mouth wide enough to fit a golf ball into it. What was unexpected was that a person fell directly out of the darkness. Big earlobes, pineapple pants, the drum beat behind the scenes. If these characteristics are not Enel, the god of Sky Island, who else could it be? Enel. People on Sky Island were startled at the same time, and they immediately thought of dodging. Many people took a few steps back, and even fell heavily to the ground, about to lose their strength. And with a dull sound, Enel fell to the ground motionless. The hole in the wall on the chest was still bleeding with traces of blood. At this moment, everyone reacted. God is dead. And it's still fresh. The Venom and others in front of me not only burned down Enel's palace, but even personally punished the god of Sky Island. This is everything true. Surprised expressions hung on everyone's faces for 5 minutes. Did they bring this? Ganfer looked nervous at the moment. He had just accepted the news of Enel's death, and now he was facing a new problem. Are they here to rule us? To be honest, Ganfu was already scared. Everyone was vulnerable to the power of God. A god of thunder just died, and now on Sky Island, another god of darkness has arrived. Whether it is a blessing or a curse, no one can tell. Enel's rule is over. Sky Island is free, and you don't have to be afraid. I have no interest in ruling Sky Island. Venom could see it in everyone's eyes. Their eyes were full of fear. So he expressed his attitude directly. And something happened that Venom didn't expect. After Ganfu received this information, his attitude immediately changed 180 degrees. Now he can only choose to gamble. Bet on the kindness of the other party. Really? No, you are the god of our Sky Island. As soon as the words fell, Ganfuor immediately knelt down and worshipped. Ganfuor knew very well that if Sky Island wanted to maintain permanent peace, it needed a strong support. Now Enel is indeed dead. But when will the next Thor arrive? At that time, Kongdo will still fall into endless suffering. Why not take advantage of this opportunity and let the people in front of you rule Sky Island? Moreover, the reason Ganfuor was willing was entirely because of his comments on Venom and others on the streets of Sky Island before the burning temple appeared. Now he recalled that this pair of people did not target Sky Island, but instead brought lots of Baileys. Now Venom just took a golden sword from Sky Island and eliminated Sky Island's biggest hidden danger. Old man, don't get me wrong. I have no interest in being the god of Sky Island. The rule of Sky Island belongs to the people of Sky Island. Venom said, and mobilized the yellow sand from the ground to lift Ganfer directly. Venom didn't want to bear the old man's kneeling. It's yellow sand. It's yellow sand. It's the power of God. Poof. Ganfu immediately knelt down again. The other party is really too powerful. And he's so polite and approachable. I don't even want to let an old man kneel down and worship. This is God's compassionate heart. If you don't hug this thigh, you won't have to hug it in the future. What a disaster for Sky Island. God, God, God. With the advent of God, Ganfuor led. One after another, Sky Island soldiers knelt down and paid tribute to the supreme god. Venom expressed helplessness, and the next second something happened that made him even more helpless. I saw that Weber directly crossed Ganfuor and knelt in front of Venom. Venom was a little confused. Sandia's ghost warrior, what are you doing? Venom was also speechless. He didn't do anything, and these people knelt down to him. And each one is more enthusiastic than the other. The whole thing is a bit baffling. Just for killing Enel. Seeing Ganfer's performance, Weber on the side suddenly became enlightened. In his opinion, the holy sword of Shantora is now in the hands of Venom in front of him. Coupled with the unparalleled strength, even Shen Enel has been killed. If he becomes the new god of Sky Island, he will be as good as Ganfu. We are on the same front. The gorillas who are Ganfer's opponents will inevitably be attacked by the Venom pirates. Then something big will happen. They will most likely be expelled from Sky Island. Besides, the holy sword is in the hands of Venom, and with his strength, he can lead the Sandians to take back Apayado, the island of gods, from the people of Sky Island. If he is on his side. That's easy to say. Naturally, Venom became the savior of the Sandians. Sir, forgive me for my ignorance. In fact, it was the holy sword of Shantara that chose you. You are the god of our Sandians. Please lead us to take back Apayado, the island of gods. Weber knelt on the ground piously. Without raising his head, he said loudly. Upon hearing this, Ganfer knew Weber's purpose and immediately became anxious. Weber, you are so despicable. Please don't say such things to our god of Sky Island. Now anyone with a discerning eye can see that as long as Venom is on which side will win the final victory and bring unprecedented peace to Sky Island. This is our god of Sandia. Can you, old man, shut up? Originally, Venom had no interest in ruling Sky Island, because he finds it troublesome. But after hearing the conversation between the two, I suddenly found that things became a little simpler. You are saying that you want me to lead you to peace. Ganfu. Yes, God. Weber. Lord God, please lead us Sandians to victory. Ganfer and Weber nodded at the same time and knelt a few steps forward to show their sincerity. The other members they led also knelt down one after another. Venom did not answer their questions directly, but used sand fruit to turn into a giant hand, making everyone stand up again, and this time he used some force to force them to kneel down. I'm not interested in anything that is divine or not. But I have a suggestion for you. Sky Island has its original inhabitants, and the Sandians were washed up on Sky Island from the sea 400 years ago. They are also the original inhabitants of the island. You can develop all the islands of Sky Island together. There is no need to fight for them. You die and I live. Of course, if you really want to continue fighting, let me be your opponent. I will destroy one force so that Sky Island will never have to compete for points again. Venom finished his words. It was obvious that he was not interested. If you really want to go any further, he will find a force at will and then destroy another force. Ah, it seemed that both of them were on guard. Ganfer and Weber looked into each other's eyes at the same time. The long-standing competition for points has filled the two nations with distrust. Now there is only one person who can convince both nations, and the chance is almost zero. But the appearance of Venom has broken this extremely low probability. He possesses god-like powers and convinces the Sky Island Aborigines headed by Ganfer. As for the holy sword of Shantara that he brought to life at the same time, Weber and others had to pay attention to it. Venom is a god sent from heaven. In this way, neither side can afford to offend. We don't dare. Please become the co-owner of Sky Island. Ganfer, Weber and others said at the same time. In order to prevent themselves from being eliminated, Ganfer and Weber could only come up with a compromise plan. In short, they had to get through this hurdle first. At this time, Venom waved to his girl group, and then walked directly towards the town. First ask the people of Sky Island what they think. If they are not willing, I will not stay on Sky Island. In 3 days, I will wait for your news at Angel Island. Ganfer and Weberang remained where they were. Everyone seemed to see fiery hope in each other's eyes. At this point, Venom has not said that he wants to become the co-owner of Sky Island. The reason is just because everyone on Sky Island has no unified opinions. This kind of character is so upright. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I will convince my people. He is the only god of our Sky Island. Ganfu curled up his beard and said harsh words to Weber. We, the people of Sky Island, will never let God down. We Sandians are very united. He is the god who came up from the lower world to save us Sandians. This is something that is destined by nature. In fact, it has nothing to do with you people. Weber was not to be outdone and said directly, he is the one who will not let God down. Snort. We'll find out in 3 days. After saying that, the two groups broke up unhappy. After being out of sight, Ganfer immediately ran to promote Venom's victory over Enel. He wanted to push Venom to rule the entire Sky Island. Weber is doing the same thing as Ganfer. The closed Sky Island environment has no future, and the emergence of Venom gives Weber hope and even recreates the glory of Shantara. In the evening, all members of the Venom Pirates returned to the Nefertari. Boss, it smells like rotten fruit. Nami slapped his nose and complained. Khalifa took a step forward and also asked about the strange smell, wondering, I keep our fruits in the refrigerator, why does it smell rotten? As soon as they arrived on the deck, everyone saw a rotten devil fruit. Judging from the color and shape, it is the discarded Logia dark fruit. Generally speaking, devil fruit will never rot. But after Khalifa took a bite, he threw it directly to the black ball on the boat. The animal that has been hiding on the ship from Cakeball Island, dark fruit is its treasure. However, as long as the dark fruit is bitten by someone, the ability will directly enter the body of the Esper, and the fruit itself will lose its incorruptibility, and it is normal for it to rot. It seems that dark fruit has been played to pieces by Chocho. Venom also frowned. Careless. Although everyone on the boat has not had much interaction with Chocho and does not usually communicate with him, everyone still takes good care of this pet after being with the boat for so long. It eats a lot of things in the refrigerator. Everyone pretended not to see it. Previously in Demon Valley Town, Venom had taken Paramesh's spring fruit from Bellamy. But this fruit is not very powerful, and Venom has no intention of eating it. As for selling it for money, the Venom pirates are not so poor. Therefore, in Venom's original plan, he was originally going to throw it to Black Ball. I just forgot about it for a while. So until now, spring fruit has been hidden in the dark space of dark fruit. Now, with the dark fruit rotting, Chocho was probably desperate, so he left the dark fruit and left the ship. Nami wondered. Boss, that little guy probably left without saying goodbye. Khalifa raised his eyes and said a little embarrassedly, it's all my fault. I ate its dark fruit. Khalifa, don't think so, that little guy can't control this power. Actually, I think it would be good to put it down on Sky Island. Sky Island is very beautiful and rich in products, which is quite suitable for Black Ball to survive. Robin analyzed it and said with a smile. It is the pet's freedom to leave. Perhaps staying on Sky Island is much better than sailing on a boat. It has happened and no one cares anymore. Okay, everyone has worked hard today. Khalifa, let's prepare dinner. Today we want to celebrate finding so much gold, and the most important thunder fruit. Venom took out the thunder fruit and looked at it carefully. Some people are looking forward to the selection of thunder fruit. Yes, boss. Sky Island is made up of many islands, and its territory is quite large. And there are clouds and mist everywhere, pure white, like a fairyland. At this time, a black creature kept sniffing in the clouds and mist, seeming to smell something. It's the black ball that got off the Venom ship. At this time, he was very disappointed and burst into tears. Chocho still doesn't know why dark fruit will rot. Originally, it thought the fruit was very beautiful and would never go bad, so it regarded it as its favorite toy. After being robbed by Venom and others, Black Ball lurked on their ship looking for opportunities to steal it back. Fortunately, those good guys played dark fruit for a while. He returned the fruit again, which made Chocho happy for a long time. They are really good people. But today, the dark fruit that Chocho cherished has rotted, and Black Chocho suddenly despaired. Good thing. Black balls rely on their unique olfactory system. On this island, I smell something similar to dark fruit again. So he decisively got off the boat and started looking for it. It was very cold at night on Sky Island. Fortunately, Choo had thick fur, the air was clean, and the moon was extremely bright, so it did not affect his eyesight as he walked through the ruins. Finally, I found a white fruit in a shallow bay full of mist. This white fruit is similar to the previous lavender fruit. The biggest difference is that this fruit seems to be covered with white down. Chocho took the fruit in his hand and smelled it. The flavors are all delicious. Chocho licked his lips, because he wanted to play and was a little reluctant to eat. At this moment, a pair of blood-red eyes lit up in the dark night, and a flowery one walked out. Seeing this ferocious thing, Chocho was so frightened that he ran away immediately. Squeak, squeak, squeak. While Venom and others were having a moonlight dinner on the boat, the sound of balls rang out around the Neferutari. The voice was sharp, as if asking for help. Venom nodded and immediately teleported out in the direction of the sound. He dodged and saw Chocho being forced into the corner by a yellow-clouded leopard. It turns out this little guy was being chased. Without hesitation, Khalifa directed a finger to the pistol. A burst of energy turned into a bullet and shot through the clouded leopard's head. There was no movement, and the clouded leopard fell down. Little guy, it's very dangerous outside. Do you want to go back to the boat? Khalifa smiled and looked at Hey Chocho. Jurjurjurji. Hey Chocho shook his head, expressing that he wanted to refuse. The next second it looked at the body of the clouded leopard on the ground, and nodded reluctantly. The world is too scary. Still safe on board. The reason why I am so entangled is that I am afraid that the venom will snatch the beautiful fruits. Seeing the hesitant Black Ball, Khalifa directly picked up Black Ball and moved it to the deck. Everyone laughed when they saw the dirty Hey Chocho slumped on the deck. I'll take it to take a bath. Robin walked over with a smile. Wait a minute, Chocho, you can't hide it. Do you want to bring the things in your arms to me? Venom noticed that there was a white object under Black Chocho's black fur. A touch of white appears under Hey Chocho's black fur, and the contrast is very obvious. Seeing Venom's greedy eyes with dandruff, Hey Chocho knows that he is in trouble again, and this time he will defend it to the end. It directly covered the thing, just like a treasure that cannot be easily shown to others, and shook its head repeatedly. It knows that it is trying to steal its own things again. This new fruit was something I found with great difficulty, and I must not let it be snatched away again. If the fruit is touched by dirty human hands, it will lose its antiseptic effect. I'll trade with you. Venom took out the spring fruit from the space and shook it in front of Black Ball. Seeing another strange fruit, Hey Chocho immediately became energetic. It wants it all, so he reached for it. As a result, as soon as he reached out his hand, the white devil fruit rolled down from his body. Boom, boom, boom. After a few rotations, a white devil fruit stopped directly on the deck. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. This is devil fruit. This mysterious fruit is pure white, and the pulp seems to be covered with a layer of white fluff. Even if it rolls to the ground, it remains white and flawless. If you are not careful, people will think that it is a small white animal, such as rabbits, white mice and so on, or a giant dandelion. There are two red patches growing on the top of the fruit. The spiral pattern on it directly betrays its devil fruit identity. I bet this is a devil fruit. Venom's eyebrows couldn't help but twitch. Now he can completely see that this is a Sha Baurua who is specifically looking for devil fruit. When we were on Zibing Chocho Island before, it was Hey Chocho who found dark fruit and hid it in his cave. Unexpectedly, when he arrived at Sky Island, the little guy went out for a walk and found one again. Devil fruit. If you don't have any special abilities, how can you do it? There must be something special about Chocho that gives it the ability to find devil fruit. Nami looked at the white fruit on the ground and wondered, "Boss, what kind of fruit is this?" Venom shook his head. This devil fruit is an unexpected thing. Venom has never seen the devil fruit illustrated book, so he has no idea what devil fruit it is. However, according to the pattern, it grows on two round branches and leaves, and the flesh part is covered with white pubescence. It doesn't look like Logia devil fruit, nor does it look like Paramesha. It's most likely some kind of zone, or a branch of phantom beast species. All over the ship, compared to Nami and Karina, only Robin and Khalifa know more about devil fruit. Robin said, "I don't know the information about this devil fruit, but it looks very special and its abilities should be outstanding." Khalifa looked at the devil fruit carefully, and then said, "The white fluff looks like that of some kind of animal. It is probably Zone's devil fruit, but this devil fruit is very strange. I guess there is a high chance that it is a kind of devil fruit. A species of phantom beast, even one in the form of Renren fruit. Ah, this is such good luck. The ball is awesome." Nami took a few steps and was about to pick up the white devil fruit. "See this." The ball immediately exploded. After quickly grabbing the spring fruit from Venom's hand, he immediately pounced on the white fruit. Like a goalkeeper who saves a penalty kick. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I want them all. This spring fruit should be regarded as compensation for the darkness fruit. Don't even think about taking away the white fruit. People around him were speechless for a while and looked at Nami again. This little guy is even greedier than Nami. Nami said dissatisfied. "Look at what I'm doing, everyone, think of a solution. Maybe we can get some information about this white fruit from the black market, but the first step is to snatch the little guy's things." In Nami's opinion, devil fruit is a treasure that is the source of power. It looks inappropriate no matter how you put it on a small animal. Moreover, looking at the situation, the white devil fruit is far more precious than the spring fruit. Nami, even in the black market, there may not be news. Devil fruit seems to be very rare, but that is also the reason why the sea is endless and vast. In fact, there are thousands of devil fruit, and many devil fruit are actually unrecorded. Khalifa explained. Nico Robin nodded. Yes, even if it is a black market, there may not be one. In fact, the most convenient way is to find someone to eat it. Then the basic information in the devil fruit will be automatically transferred to the mind of the ability user. What should we do? There is no one on our ship. Karina frowned. Besides, we also have Paramesha fruit and Logia devil fruit. No one eats them, and now there is an extra white, hairy fruit. Quote. Venom entered into thinking. This is indeed the case now. There are too many devil fruit resources on the ship to be digested. The gate fruit has never been a combat type. In Venom's view, think of it more as a strategic capability. So it doesn't matter who eats the venom. If there is anyone in Sky Island who is suitable to eat, maybe there is someone in Alabasta Vivi. As long as it's a girl, just give it to her. At most, it would be enough to copy the ability through parasitism. And thunder fruit must be trained as a combatant. It cannot be given away easily. Then it will be difficult to choose. Venom has no idea who this position will be given to. Now there is another mysterious devil fruit in the black ball. It looks quite special. There is a high chance that it is a high-grade fruit. In this situation, the Venom pirates are already seriously short of personnel. How to deal with it has indeed become a problem. Venom looked at Black Ball. Suddenly a light bulb flashed. In his knowledge, there is a precedent for animals eating devil fruit. For example, Tony Chopper on Luffy's ship in the original book. That little reindeer worth 100 belly. He was originally a reindeer, but after eating the zone, the human fruit, the fantasy beast species, and the common people's form, he became worth 100 belly and did things worth hundreds of millions of belly. It can be seen from this case that ordinary animals can also eat devil fruit. And there won't be any big problems. Then, it should be no problem for the treasure-hunting beast Heichocho to eat a devil fruit. And the reason why Venom came up with this idea. It was he who saw that although Heichocho looked stupid, he was not an immature animal. He might have the mind of a child of several years old to behave like this. Chocho, come over here. Quote, Venom said with a smile. Heichocho remained indifferent, as if he didn't hear anything. I won't take your devil fruit. Both are yours. I will do what I say. The knight beckons again. This time, Heichocho started to take action and came over doubtfully. It knows that Venom is the leader on this ship, and everyone must listen to him. As a boarder, his fate is in his hands. It's just that he hasn't paid any attention to himself. Now faced with Venom's statement, Heichocho walked out. Touch your head. In this way, you can just eat this white fruit, the good one, and I will keep the remaining fruit as a permanent treasure for you. Jurjurji. Heichocho shook his head directly. It is reluctant to eat even one. They all want to treasure it. Whether you agree or disagree, you must eat it, otherwise I will keep both of them. Venom rubbed his hands and pretended to be greedy. The next second, there was a gudong sound. The white fruit was stuffed directly into Heichocho's mouth. The swollen face looked like a squirrel in stock. Stop lying to me with such low-level things. Venom punched Heichocho on the head. Gudong. A round shadow descended directly down Chu's throat. This time, the fruit completely fell into Heichocho's belly. Boss, is this really no problem? The girls asked nervously. Venom knows what the girl group means. They are afraid that Chocho will gain powerful abilities and then leave the fleet. After all, Chocho is not a human, mentally immature, and has no bond with anyone. If you gain the ability, according to the animal's bestiality, it is normal to escape from human territory. Venom waved his hand. Anyway, it found it on its own, so let everything take its course. Let's see what this devil fruit can do first. The moment I eat the white devil fruit. As expected, there were changes in Heichocho. Its whole body began to emit steam like white mist, and its black hair began to turn from black to white at a speed visible to the naked eye, turning into a white ball in an instant. At the same time, one white cover up all the ugliness, instantly making Chocho look more elegant. Only 1 minute passed. 2 minutes passed. Chocho's appearance never changed. Under the moonlight, the whole deck became smoky because Chocho ate the devil fruit. When Venom saw the change, he knew it was because Chocho had eaten the devil fruit. He touched the white cloud-like steam with his hand, and the feeling was refreshing and cool. This coolness was different from the moisture of the mist. Yiping does not have the attributes of attack. It's very strange. According to the appearance of devil fruit, this fruit is definitely not Logia devil fruit. There seems to be something wrong with Paramesha, too. It can only be Zone, but if it's Zone, why doesn't Chocho's appearance change? Logia does not change the appearance of the Esper. Paramesha is possible. For example, after eating the devil fruit, a bear with the power of the meatball fruit will grow meat pads. Certainly, the most likely one is Zone. As for whether it is a fantasy beast species or a human fruit, can't see it at all now. If it were the Renren fruit, wouldn't it turn into a white-haired person? Nami and others around them were also surprised. After much discussion, no result was obtained. But when Chocho saw the changes in his body, all his white hairs stood up immediately. What's the situation? It's so scary. It's all the venom on the ship. Originally, I only planned to hide the white fruit in my mouth. As a result, he slapped it and swallowed it directly. Only then did such a big change occur. Chocho himself felt that his whole body was full of energy, but he didn't know how to coordinate it, and seeing everyone around him looking at him immediately made him a little scared. With a thought, the wind rises under its feet, and the clouds rise and the mist rises. The next second he hid in the warehouse. It's a dark place that feels safest. Venom and the others were left speechless for a while. When Nami saw Chocho running away, she subconsciously wanted to chase it, but was pulled down by Venom. Don't worry about it, it will come out on its own in the future. Anyway, Chocho is still on his ship, and the truth will be revealed one day. And even if Chocho suddenly leaves one day, it doesn't matter. The Venom pirates now have no shortage of devil fruit, so there is no need to waste energy on just one devil fruit. And because of Venom's order, the girl group did not pursue the case. Shanks has a daughter, Uta, a singer who changed the world. Red and white twin ponytails with wings. Brothers, Uta seems very cute. Should we give 4 emperors a face? 3 days passed quickly. Angel Island, Lovely Avenue. At this time, there were huge crowds of people. And this island, which belongs to the Aborigines of Sky Island, has another force at the moment. Originally, the two forces were incompatible with each other, but today there was an exception. Everyone stood on the street, clearly divided. No one pays attention to anyone. As for why this happens, it was entirely because both Ganfer and Weber went to the tribes to persuade them. At the same time, in order to increase their convincing power, Enel's body was also passed around between the two tribes. Finally, under the persuasion of Ganfer and Weber, the first peaceful gathering, everything is waiting for that man to appear. Soon, on the street in the distance, 5 figures appeared. The one in the middle is Venom, with a golden knife on his body. On the left are Nami and Karina, and on the right are Robin and Khalifa. They are full of momentum. Here we come. Lord Weber, is this our new god? Did you see it? The golden sword on the god's waist is our legendary sacred object of Shandorla, the sword of Pharaoh Bast. I know, every one of us Sandians remembers the appearance of Pharaoh Bast's sword clearly, but today is the first time we've seen it in real form. It's indeed a superb craftsmanship. Of course, the sword of Pharaoh Bast was made by the top craftsman of Wano-kuni 800 years ago by our king. An old man from Sandia began to popularize some historical knowledge to young people. Across the street from the Sandians are the Aborigines of Sky Island. There was also a lot of discussion at this time. Is that the new god Lord Ganfer calls him? Isn't he the one who killed Enel? Great, it would be great if we could escape the suffering of the past under the leadership of the new god. I know them, and they bought me a lot of Sky Island specialties. They are really generous. Under the gaze of everyone, Venom came to the middle of the square. Enthusiastic cheers suddenly erupted from both sides of the street. Boss, the cheers of many people are fake. Nami leaned into Venom's ear and whispered. Venom nodded, and he could see the helplessness hidden on everyone's faces. Both Ganfer and Weber have been waiting here for a long time. Seeing the arrival of the Venom pirates, the two of them immediately greeted them. Lord Kami, Lord Kami. Ganfer first saluted Venom, then turned to a girl and said, Canis, play, City in the Sky, for our new god. Lord God, Canis is the most outstanding harpist on our Sky Island. Her music is so beautiful that it can make everyone feel happy. Ganfer came to Venom and introduced. Follow Ganfer's eyes. Venom saw a girl sitting on the cloud platform on the side. The girl had blonde hair and two pigtails. She was wearing a high-collar miniskirt, no pants, and wings that were characteristic of Sky Island residents on her back. She was barefoot and wearing a pair of slippers, with a little fox resting on her toes. It was her pets. The overall appearance is like that of an angel. Seeing this person, Venom remembered it. In the original plot, Canis introduced the local cultural characteristics and products when Luffy, AJ, and his party arrived at Sky Island. In order to save her life, she followed Enel's rules and wanted to induce Luffy and his party to accept sanctions. In the end, she died because she could not bear the condemnation of conscience. Tell the truth to the group, and after the Battle of Sky Island, use the Sky Island specialty Zhongjiao hot air balloon to send Luffy away. All in all, Canis is a positive and cute character. But at this moment, there was some hesitation on her face, and she looked a little worried. Venom knows that although everyone on Sky Island is enthusiastic, the hearts of Sky Island residents are actually full of fear of themselves. What will happen if a person who can kill Enel becomes cruel? What kind of disaster it is for the entire Sky Island. Therefore, Venom can understand their mentality. Canis, there's no need to play castle in the sky yet. Venom continued. We came to Sky Island to eliminate Enel, not because of your relationship. It is not in my plan to rule Sky Island. You don't have to think too much, we have no ill intentions. Ganfer, Webb, you led a team of people to our ship to carry all the materials. We will talk about everything after the banquet. From Venom's point of view, although he has a plan to allow trade between Alabasta, Sky Island, and Gaia Island, if he intervenes, the residents will live in the shadows. Venom would rather not take this step. At the same time, I have now obtained 2 devil fruits on Sky Island and took away 30 belly worth of gold, which should make the atmosphere on Sky Island more cheerful. Rather than just acting on occasion. Although Venom knew that these residents were very simple, he felt a little embarrassed when they were forced to look like this. What? He actually asked us to move all the materials and hold a big banquet. Gamfort and Weber were simultaneously in a state of shock. In the eyes of the two, Venom is far more powerful than the previous god of Sky Island. Now we actually have to distribute supplies to everyone. Just for everyone to attend a party. Hosting a banquet using God's gifts. Neither Ganfer nor Weber dared to do this. However, at Venom's request. Seeing the rich supplies in the cabin and the special foods from various places, the residents of Sky Island moved more and more energetically. It took 3 hours to fill the entire square. Lei Yi frowned when he saw the supplies piled up in the square. He doesn't feel sorry for these supplies, but feels sorry for his girl group. From the beginning of the trip, how much effort did the girl group members put in to make the cabin so rich in supplies? With the supplies in place, the banquet officially began. Gradually, the atmosphere of the entire Sky Island began to become warm. People set up fires and ate delicacies from various places. People sang and danced, and the laughter became louder and louder. Venom, the girl group, Ganfer, and Weber gathered around the fire and laughed happily. Khalifa's wines and delicacies were welcomed by everyone. Nami's flames surprised everyone. Robin used flower fruit to get various supplies, which shocked everyone. Karina's sniper skills were deeply admired by all the Sky Island warriors. In the distance, the beautiful sound of Anis piano also came out. The city in the sky directly pushed the banquet to the highest level. The warm atmosphere of the banquet and the silhouettes reflected by the firelight made the Sky Island warriors stunned and kept muttering, "Ni-ka." At this time, Venom after drinking a glass of wine. Looking at Ganfer and Webb he said, "I have no intention of ruling Sky Island. And it won't be long before he's gone. But you can't let the tribesmen fight anymore. Such a beautiful place should not fall into the flames of war again because of a trace of prejudice." Lord Kami. After seeing Venom's sincerity, Ganfer and Weber were completely impressed by his generosity. This human being can bring joy to Sky Island. A large gathering unprecedented in hundreds of years was held. The two of them spoke sincerely and said at the same time, adults can bring hope to Sky Island. If you miss it, there will be no peace in Sky Island. Please stay. ... Quote. Venom paused, then smiled. If this is what the residents of Sky Island mean, then I have a suggestion. Quote. Suggestion. Lord God, please speak. Upon hearing Venom's suggestion, Ganfer and Weber immediately kaido. It's very simple. I want to form a trade system between Sky Island and the islands in the lower world. Food and goods from the lower world can be transported to Sky Island. At the same time, Sky Island's special shellfish and other specialties are also sold to the lower world. As long as a trade system is formed, which can bring convenience to the residents of both places. By the way, among them is the hometown of Weber's ancestors, Ruya Island. As he said this, Venom thought that when the time comes, maybe the Golden Bell can be used as a bell to mark the beginning of the trade road, just like a modern enterprise going public. Whether it is the sea or Sky Island, there is trade. As soon as Venom was spoken, Ganfer and Webb immediately understood. Just now, through the supplies provided by the Venom pirates, everyone on Sky Island was able to taste the delicacies of the netherworld, and also used specialties from various places. It can be said that they all liked it very much. There is no doubt that if these products can enter Sky Island, it will bring good news to the people. ... Now we face three problems. First, safety issues. In Ganfer's opinion, the people in the lower world are much more powerful than the people in Sky Island. When he was a child, he heard that there were many powerful people in the lower world. When he saw the Venom, this idea came to his mind. More intense. The second is the issue of equality. If the netherworld only uses a small amount of supplies and replaces all Sky Island's special products, the surplus will empty Sky Island. The third is the root issue. The problem is very simple. Soaring sea currents are rare and cannot form an effective route. Weber on the other side heard that Sky Island could start trade with his ancestors' hometown. The anticipation immediately grew. Ganfer said, at the same time, if we want to start trade, there is no sea route. Also, please become the god of Sky Island. If you make the decision for Sky Island, I believe that trade will bring happiness to the people of Sky Island. If there is no strong person like you, Sky Island will not survive. Soil. Faced with his three doubts, Ganfer immediately thought of Venom. Only a strong person who can take charge of Sky Island can have the right to speak. If the people of Sky Island are willing, I would be happy to take on the position of acting god, and I can also open up a convenient route. Venom speculated that the gate fruit could function in space travel. Secondly, even if the gate fruit does not have this function, I also have thunder fruit as my driving force. Arc Proverbs still exists in its own dark space. It is entirely possible to use the shipbuilding technology of the Seven Waters Island to master the technology of the Arc of Proverbs, and then manufacture large quantities of electric aviation ships. You agree. However, I do not intend to stay on Sky Island. You can continue to rule Sky Island together, provided that you must push Sky Island to a peaceful dimension. Sir, this is not possible. There can only be one God in Sky Island. We are willing to be your priests. We will make every effort for the peace of Sky Island. Seeing Venom's repeated refusals and effective suggestions, Ganfer and Weber also knew that Venom had no ill intentions towards Sky Island, so they unanimously made him the master of Sky Island. With Venom leading the way, Sky Island will definitely be happy. Okay, within 3 months I will outline a complete plan. If everyone agrees, we will take action. In the coming days, don't worry about Alabasta and Gaia Island. Integrating opinions from all aspects and getting everything done. Of course, Venom doesn't need to do these things himself, because the girl group has grown up, especially Khalifa, the secretary, who has rich experience in running a company and can make a business plan. Venom's words moved Ganfer and Webb again. He first made a proposal and asked everyone to agree before taking action. It is enough to prove that Venom is completely different from a ruler like Enel. 3 days have passed since the last banquet. During this time, the Venom pirates did a lot of things. First of all, Venom arranged for Khalifa to collect statistics on Sky Island's products. These items that can be used as goods, such as Sky Island shellfish and special foods, will bring huge wealth to Kongwai in the future. Just like Sky Island shell, the wind shell can blow out wind to give it power. It is extremely powerful and can be used by small boats and giants. It can record and play back sounds, and can be used like a radio. Water shells can spray water, which can be used to extinguish fires. The lamp shell stores light, and if you press and hold the top of the shell, it will emit light. These Sky Island shells are high-tech products in the lower realm. Each one is of great value. Khalifa has already developed all its business plans during this period. Although they are only prototypes, as long as they are implemented, they will basically proceed as expected. And why is Khalifa so confident? It's entirely because of Venom's strength. In this world, nothing can stop the expansion of Venom's power. Venom is so powerful. Secondly, during this period of time, Venom also observed the condition of Chocho. This creature brought from Western Cake Chocho has now adapted to the environment of the pirate group, and occasionally plays with Nami and the others, but Devil Fruit's the ability has not changed yet, it just releases some mist occasionally. Therefore, Venom has no way of guessing what the abilities of Chocho's Devil Fruit are. When this little guy grows up, it may show. At last. The most critical thing is that the Venom found a new parasite during this time. This man is Canis. She also became a Door Fruit user. After experiencing the lively banquet, Canis no longer worried that Venom would cause harm to Sky Island. At the same time, after hearing about Venom's plan, she applauded and tried her best to promote it. After learning that the power of the Gate Fruit could bring happiness to Sky Island, she decisively volunteered to become the parasite of Venom, and the power of the Gate Fruit naturally fell on her, making her the third priest of Sky Island. Trade Priest. With the help of Venom, Canis' strength has also become Sky Island's fighting power. I believe it won't be long before she will become the #1 combat force on Sky Island. And under Venom's arrangement, Canis' task is to get several places to trade and make the whole system work. And under the development of Venom, the power of the Gate Fruit has also been completely mastered. The core of Menman Fruit is space. This ability has a cubic space the size of a football field, and doors can be created at any position on the 4 square walls of the cubic space. Through the doors, you can lead to all parts of the world. This is similar to coordinates. First, within the visual perception range, the ability user can consume a certain amount of physical strength to create a door leading to any destination within the perception range. The size of the door is determined by the physical strength of the ability user, and the shuttle will reach another destination. The place. Second, when a person with abilities arrives at a certain place in person, he can create a permanent door through a method similar to loading coordinates. When he needs to move in space in the future, he only needs to enter the cube space, select the corresponding door, and open the 2 doors. The space channel of the Earth. Enter from the current location, enter the core space, go out and reach the destination. This is the principle of Door Fruit spanning space. And this can become the most convenient, permanent route in the pirate world. From the Eastern Hemisphere to the Western Hemisphere, it only takes a breath. Venom, on the other hand, also obtained Conqueror's Hockey. Complete the ability puzzle of One Piece world. The next thing to do is to develop all abilities to ultimate. 1 month later, Venom is here in Canis, and the fusion progress has been maxed out. It's been too long, it's time to go. Sir, do you really want to leave? Canis is very reluctant to let go of Venom. During this month, Venom has parasitized on her body every day to improve her progress. This allows Venom to teleport to Canis when there is a crisis on Sky Island to guard this territory. At the same time, the ability of the Gate Fruit can also be used to transfer crew members. Anyone who dares to cause trouble on Sky Island will face attack from the Venom Pirates. Through contact with other members of the Venom Pirates, Canis fell in love with this team. This team is so harmonious that it is simply a paradise of happiness. Of course he also fell in love with the captain. It's time, we still have a lot to do. Canis, you also have the Door Fruit now, and the Eternal Door is also stored on Sky Island. You can sail with us for a while to go to the next stop, Alabasta. Quote. Is it really possible? Canis couldn't believe it. She thought she would never be able to sail with everyone. Now she has this opportunity, which surprises her. Of course, Canis, Nami put her arm around Kanis's shoulder. This guy is our common boss. Let's be honest. What's this guy? No matter how big or small. Karina pretended to be dissatisfied. Ha 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 ha. Kanis smiled happily, his eyes full of emotion, and said, "That's great. Thank you for taking care of me." Soon, the Neferutari disappeared into the clouds under the watchful eyes of the entire Sky Island. Ganfer looked at the disappearing Neferutari at the far end and said with some emotion, "Weber, God is the hope of Sky Island. Regardless of whether God exists forever, we will live in peace, right?" Weber glanced at Ganfer. "Of course, old guy. I can't believe that you and I are in the same position now. You have to live a few more years. Otherwise, I will be lonely. Ha ha ha. I'm really looking forward to the changes in the next few months." At the same time, above the sea under Sky Island, 5 warships are sailing. Such a combination of marine warships makes all the surrounding pirates tremble and dare not show their heads. I am afraid that if I am not careful, I will be wiped out by the other party. Because there are 3 marine admirals and 2 admiral candidates gathered on these warships. This is an ultimate configuration. Everything is because Naval Headquarters got a message. Some time ago, the Venom pirates appeared on Gaia Island, taking away a family stronghold of Don Quixote and even killed one of Doflamingo's cadres. After that, we went to Sky Island along the Sky Current. The warship has been lingering at sea for many days, waiting for the Venom pirates to fall from Sky Island. The first half of the Grand Line, near the waters of Gaia Island. Blue sea and sky, gentle sea breeze, it is perfect weather no matter how you look at it. 4 huge warships formed a formation and rode across the blue sea, dragging out white waves. This is a fleet composed of the Marine 3 Admiral and 2 newly promoted Admiral candidates, and the Marine 3 Admiral is the newly recovered Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji. As for the 2 Admiral candidates, these 2 positions are new positions proposed by Marine's internal reform. Because the 3 Marine Admirals have suffered defeat at the hands of the Venom pirates, Marineford began to pay attention to the danger of the position of Marine Admiral. In order to prevent the Marine Admiral from being when an accident occurs, the Admiral position becomes vacant, so the Marine Admiral candidate is added. As for how many Marine Admiral candidates there are in total, Naval Headquarters has not been announced. It is estimated that many elites are receiving secret training from Naval Headquarters. The 2 Admiral candidates currently on board the warship are Chatankake and Mamasagi Gion. In terms of strength, the 2 of them are still at the Vice Admiral level, and there is still a certain distance between them and the strength of Marine Admiral. It's just that the results of the 2 are more outstanding. To be qualified for the position of Marine Admiral, it takes several years of training. There is no doubt that both Hachikusen, Cake and Mamasagi Gion are valued by Marineford. As for why all the Marine Admirals came out, the reason is very simple. Because Mariajoy failed to recruit Venom, and a CP9 agent was stolen for this purpose, and Akainu had a grudge against Venom, it was strongly recommended to use powerful force to destroy the Venom pirates. To avoid future troubles, on the deck, the white-haired Akainu felt quite complicated. He was holding a cigar in his mouth, and thick smoke kept coming out of his mouth. Since the battle in the New World, the world has changed dramatically. I also got into the habit of smoking cigars. Especially after he was sucked by the blood bat released by the Venom, his whole temperament changed. Although he quickly burned the bat with lava that time, he was still successfully attacked by the vampire Venom. Akainu lost several years of his life as a result. His physical fitness has not changed much, but his hair has completely turned white. The experience of having his life sucked away by a vampire bat made Akainu Sakazuki feel very humiliated, and his white hair reminded him all the time that the most important thing in this life is to wipe out the Venom pirates. Admiral's shame. He must take revenge. And that's not the only reason Akainu holds a grudge. That time, as soon as Venom left, the Whitebeard pirates surrounded the warship with their hind legs. The situation was urgent at that time, and Akainu and Kizaru were isolated and helpless. They could only lead some low-level Naval Headquarters non-commissioned officers to start a terrifying battle with the 12 divisions of Whitebeard. The Whitebeard pirates were originally a group of 4 emperors on the sea. Whitebeard himself was known as the strongest man in the world, and his men, Marco and Josie, were not vegetarians either. Even the 2 Marine admirals were helpless and suffered a huge defeat. Akainu also understood a truth. No matter how strong a person is, he can't beat 4 hands with just 2 fists. Marine Double Admirals Whitebeard and 12 divisions. Fail. The commotion is known to everyone on the sea. That battle, Akainu was seriously injured, leaving white hair and many scars on his body. However, after several months of conditioning, Akainu Sakazuki has fully recovered thanks to his strong physique, and he believes that the culprit is Venom. Why do the 2 admirals appear in New World? It's all because I want to hunt down the Venom pirates. Why did the Whitebeard pirates come? It's all because Venom started a battle here and attracted Whitebeard. Marine became the one who helped the Venom pirates find out. What a shame. The time has come now. The Venom pirates appear again. After receiving the news, Akainu immediately jumped up from the hospital bed and suggested to the upper management that the 3 Marine admirals be dispatched together with 2 Vice Admiral elites, several Vice Admirals, and 4 huge battleships to annihilate the Venom pirates in one fell swoop. In the first half of the Grand Line, there was no interference from a large pirate group like Whitebeard. The Venom pirates chose to return to Gaia Island, which became a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Marine. Faced with Akainu's suggestion, the superiors decisively agreed. Only then did the current scene happen. The existence of Sky Island is not a secret in naval headquarters. Now that the Sky Current has passed, the warships led by Akainu cannot go to Sky Island, so he ordered to wait on the sea surface for a month. And now, only 2 situations will occur. One is that the Venom pirates are stationed on Sky Island, then the warship can wait for the next Sky High Sea Current and go to Sky Island to pursue them. The second is that the Venom pirates will definitely come down on a pirate ship. The landing point must be within a few hundred nautical miles of Gaia Island. Venom is absolutely restless. Akainu stared at the sky with sharp eyes. At the same time, as the commander of this encirclement and suppression battle, he has the power to mobilize 4 warships. Kizaru and Aokiji were at the same level as him, and because they were relatively lazy, they let Akainu take command. No way. Who is Akainu who was beaten the worst in New World? Colleagues, now they want revenge. If you go to participate in the war, you will not know what is good or bad. It's still a routine search. Porosalino, you take a warship to the south, follow the route, and return when it gets dark. Akainu blew out a puff of cigar smoke and looked at Kizaru and said, I have no problem. Kizaru himself also held his breath against the Venom, so he naturally paid attention to it and immediately turned into a stream of light and flickered to another warship. Kuzan, you go to the North Line. Nu. Aokiji nodded, used ice to create an ice road on the sea to the warship, and jumped in. Cake, you and Gion go to patrol the east side. If you encounter the Venom pirates, contact us as soon as possible and we will rush over immediately. Akainu said seriously. Yes, Sakazuki Admiral, the T-Dolphin ordered. Sakazuki Admiral, we will do it. Momoshige nodded. After speaking, the 2 returned to another warship. Soon it sailed towards the east. The task has been assigned. Act immediately and go west. After receiving Akainu's order, the soldiers on the deck immediately dispersed, and 2Z went to work. And Akainu looked at the blue sky and white clouds, and kept shouting with smoke coming out of his mouth. Venom, it's been more than a month and you should have come down. Don't let me down this time. White Sea. Sky Island actually has 2 floors. The highest level is Beibai, located 10,000 meters above the sea. The White Sea is the lower layer, located 7,000 meters above the sea. Venom and others have passed the Sky Island route and have descended to the White Sea. Further down, there is an empty sky, and there is no air route. All that's left is to choose a direction and land on the sea. Boss, the last banquet has consumed all the supplies on our ship, and our ship needs another supply before we can go to Alabasta. When you go down to Sky Island, you will go through a period of gliding, so it is impossible for our ship to land on Gaia Island. To the east is an island called Kasra, where there are towns to supply supplies. To the west, there is an island called Zisuo, where supplies can also be supplied. The south and north are bounded by Wangyang, which is not suitable for us to sail with an empty ship. So, which direction are we going? Nami looked at the chart, then looked at Venom and said, there are convenient places in the east, west, north and south. The key is to see where you want to go next. Because the supplies on the ship are already empty, the Venom pirates don't have so many options. Go east, Venom said casually. Okay, Nami gestured. Soon, Nami and Canis disembarked. The two of them are going to look for empty fish shops. Some of the empty fish will inflate like balloons and can be used as parachutes when the ship descends. When he saw it was the Venom pirates, the store owner was immediately surprised. Lord God, are you leaving Sky Island? After obtaining Nami's consent, the shop owner went to the upper deck of the Neferutari with worship. Ah, yes, Venom didn't expect the boss to be so enthusiastic. I thought he was here to make money. Soon, the store owner took out a lot of Baileys from his pocket and said, Lord God, this is the cost of renting the express shrimp before you came here. I will give it back to you now. We must not steal Lord God's money. The banquet was attended by everyone from Sky Island, including the store owner. And the store owner also learned that Venom was going to open a trade route. Therefore, being astute, he could immediately think that Venom could bring changes to Sky Island. Now, it would be inappropriate to collect Venom Bailey. Of course, the store owner is not afraid of Venom's identity at this moment, but he respects it from the bottom of his heart. Since it's a business, you have to pay, even God is no exception. Bailey doesn't have to pay it back, and he also has to pay fees this time. These are the rules I set. Venom smiled, his tone was very calm, and he didn't mean to be polite. Ah, I understand God's will. The shop owner nodded, then please be sure to bring some Sky Island specialty food. I have arranged for my family to prepare it. Facing the enthusiasm of the store owner, the Venom pirates no longer refused. After half an hour, the landing fish has been prepared, and there are gifts from Sky Island residents on the boat. As Kongyu inhaled, the octopus-like body immediately expanded, and Kongyu also used suction cups to suck every part of the Neferutari, and the entire ship slowly floated up. After floating for a while, Kongyu slowly exhaled some air, and the Neferutari began to land. Above the sea, a marine warship is riding the wind and waves, sailing on the sea at extremely fast speeds. And the target direction, it's an island called Kazra just east of Sky Island. Standing at the bow of the warship is the Marine Admiral candidate, Momin Guion, who has beautiful black hair, wears a cloak of justice, and has a famous sword Kinpira at his waist. After waiting for a month, we still haven't been able to wait for the Venom pirates. So are they staying at Sky Island for a long time? Looking into the distance, Momosegi's mature and charming face showed some thoughts. This time, Naval Headquarters has deployed such a large force, hoping to wipe out the Venom pirates in one fell swoop. Momosegi also knows that Venom has become a major concern for Mariajoy. In Naval Headquarters, Akainu Sakazuki has a bad temper and hates evil. He suffered a big loss at the hands of New World Venom, and he must have hated Venom. New World is a gathering place for pirates, and most of them are masters. Now that Venom has returned to the first half of the Grand Line, he has also appeared on Gaia Island, and even flew to Sky Island along the Sky Current. The path down is predictable. Marine, at Akainu's insistence, decided that this was a golden opportunity to eliminate Venom. As for Venom, since he defeated Aokiji and attacked Akainu and Kizaru in the New World, he has been quite valued by Marine. If he is just an ordinary pirate, he only needs to send Vice Admiral. But now Naval Headquarters has concluded that Venom has the potential to become the Emperor of the Sea. Just to be on the safe side, the highest combat power of Naval Headquarters is displayed. Yes, catch Venom, even kill the Venom on the spot. Everyone knows that if this opportunity is missed, the Venom pirates will disappear into the sea. I don't know when the next appearance will be, and if the Venom pirates are allowed to enter the New World again. There is even the possibility of forming an alliance with other pirate groups. As a result, Marine will never have a good chance to solve this serious problem. Will it succeed? Momosegi looked at the sky and murmured. In the air, as the Sky Island octopus exhales the air in its body, it inhales air again. I don't know if there are any special organs in the octopus that can convert air into extremely low-density air similar to hydrogen. The Neferutari is slowly landing, and the speed is completely controlled by the Sky Island octopus. The trip to the island took more than an hour. There is no way, it is Air King Airlines, there are various airflows. Even if the Venom pirates are anxious, there is nothing they can do. Moreover, the Venom pirates are different from other pirate groups. They are not in a hurry now, but are enjoying the beautiful scenery of the sea and the air. Having said that, Venom can actually use the gate fruit to load the Nefertari and all the crew directly into space, and then jump directly from Sky Island alone. He has a powerful physique and a pair of vampire blood wings. Any ability can be exploited by Venom. This is the most convenient way to get off Sky Island. But it's not necessary. Since you are sailing, you must feel the charm of the Age of Discovery. Bow. Karina sat casually on the bow. Then the sniper in his hand kept observing the situation in the distance. With her powerful sense of sight and sniper vision, Karina becomes a lookout on Venom's ship. Boss, there is a warship sailing 30 nautical miles to the east of us. The sign of naval headquarters is clearly visible. And I calculated the sailing speed of this warship. It seems that in half an hour, when we fall to the sea, we will encounter it head-on. Karina added. Looking at the size of the hull, this marine warship should be of the highest level. Really? Nami jumped, came to Karina, and looked over the sniper rifle. Nothing was seen. Nami, sniping requires practice. Even if it is right there, you can't see it. Hey, Karina, you're saying I'm weak. No, I mean there are specialties in the arts, and we are equally capable of being a thief. Karina said mischievously. Venom watched his two women bickering on the side, but it didn't matter. Warship. Anyway, he now has many trump cards. No matter who he faces, Venom is sure to win. Especially for demon fruit power, those who don't know Dark Fruit's ability will definitely suffer a big loss at the hands of Venom, regardless of how pervert the opponent's ability is. You know, the last victim was Enel from Sky Island. Time is still passing. On Momosegi's side, although she doesn't know the reason, a woman's sixth sense tells her that it depends on today whether she can capture Venom. Just when Momosegi is bored, on the observation deck, a marine soldier stared at the sky with a telescope and said in surprise. Guion Vice Admiral, Cha Dome Vice Admiral, found a ship landing in the sky. That, although you can't see it, it is most likely the ship of the Venom pirates. Hear what this marine said. Momosegi and the T-Dolphin beside him were shocked at the same time. Finally found it. Report to Sakazuki Admiral quickly. Guion turned around and ordered. Etc. At this moment, T-Dolphin quickly stopped him. Guion, it's too far away right now, and I'm not sure if it's Venom's pirate ship. If we summon Marine 3 Admiral here now, if it's not, something will go wrong. Momosegi thinks so too. If it is discovered that the ship is not the Venom, there will indeed be a problem if the Marine Admiral is summoned so recklessly. Momosegi nodded, accepted what the T-Dolphin said. The T-Dolphin on the side nodded when he saw Guion. He immediately showed the same lewd smile as Kizaru. However, in terms of his obscene temperament, Kizaru Admiral outclasses him. Guion, why don't you take this opportunity and consider dating me? This is the 173rd time I confess my love to you. Guion frowned. Get out. She didn't know what was going on with this T-Dolphin, but she always wanted to confess to her. Guion is a strong woman, and she is very powerful. Especially her swordsmanship is unmatched by anyone in Malindo. It's a pity that the world only recognizes the first. The one who became the best in the world in swordsmanship was Mihawk. For such a strong man, Momosegi only has respect in his heart. And if it really counts, Momosegi's swordsmanship is estimated to be among the top 10 in the world. Even if those hidden old guys are included, he can be considered a master. Therefore, wait for Cha, a colleague of who cannot use a sword. Momosegi Guion is not interested at all. Plus, Momosegi has a deep relationship in naval headquarters. Vice Admiral Suru, a headquarter boss who is as important as Sengoku Garp, treats her like a sister, so Guion has always been free in the marine system. She has absolutely no need to give face to Chado's confession. The word, roll, makes me fly. Everyone, catch up at full speed and go take a look. If it's the Venom pirates, we will definitely send this evil force that provokes Marine's majesty into impel down. After hearing Momosegi's order, many marine soldiers on the deck took action quickly. Momosegi stopped taking care of the T-Dolphin and walked directly away. Leave the T-Dolphin alone to grieve. This woman has such a great personality. I like it so much. In the air, aboard the Nefertari, Boss, the warship is looking for our landing point, and it seems to be heading towards us. Karina did not forget to wipe the sniper rifle in her hand and said quietly to Venom. Marine is here. With a serious look on his face, Nami looked to the side of Venom. Venom nodded, ducked to Karina's side, picked up the sniper rifle and took aim. Karina's gun skills were all taught by Venom. As a gifted symbiote, Venom can use the sight skill more skillfully than Karina. The military rank is a bit low. After seeing that it was Momoshiki and the T-Dolphin, Leahy had a bit of a fight on his face. I thought the three admirals were coming together this time. Heard Venom's words. The surrounding girl groups gathered around him. Now that they had a preliminary understanding of the sea, the girl group quickly asked, "Who is it?" They are two candidates for the Admiral of Headquarters. Although there should be a gap compared to the real Admiral, they can be considered strong in the sea. Marine Admiral Alternate, listen to Venom. All the girls were a little disappointed. During this period of time, everyone in the Venom Pirates has not been idle. Not only have they practiced their specialties every day, but they have also exercised Seastone's restraint. The girl groups now are different from those of New World. Of course, according to Venom's judgment, they are still no match for Marine Admiral, but if the opponent is Marine Admiral, they will perform better this time. It seems that our itinerary has been exposed. Otherwise, at this altitude, the warship would have no reason to come towards us. I guess it is because it is waiting for us. Nico Robin analyzed. Yeah, Venom nodded. I think what Robin said makes sense. For many things now, Venom is deliberately cultivating the strength of the girl group. Regardless of the obvious fighting power, or the ability to analyze things, or maybe it's business talent, he hopes that every member of the girl group can act independently. There is no doubt that everyone has grown a lot. It seems that Marine is also aware of our threat and wants to launch 10 major encirclement and suppression attacks while we are still in the first half of the Grand Line without interference from forces like Whitebeard. Maybe behind the Marine Admiral candidate, there are 3 admirals. It seems we have a lot of faith. Putting the sniper rifle in Karina's hand, Venom smiled. Boss, there seems to be no island nearby. If we fight on the sea, will the Nefertari be damaged? We are going to pick up Vivi after all, and we can't let the ship look damaged. Nami suggested. Venom reached out and rubbed Nami's little head. Nami blushed and opened her mouth subconsciously. Only to find that there was nothing in front of me. This action comes to that person often. Nami almost developed a conditioned reflex. Of course we can't let the Nefertari be damaged, and Marine may send out Aokiji again. He is a Logia frozen fruit user who can freeze the entire sea. We don't have to worry about not having land. It's just that the Nefertari really needs to be hidden. Have you forgotten that we still have the door fruit? Besides, Thunder Fruit has no candidate yet. It seems that the Marine Admiral candidate is good. But, we have to see if she knows how to appreciate it. Anyway, Naval Headquarters has been offended, and the other party is still pursuing him reluctantly. Venom doesn't mind and offends everyone at Naval Headquarters. No matter who it is. As long as they are enemies, there is no need to give face to the other side. In fact, Venom had thought about a problem before. That is, after Blackbeard Teach got the dark fruit, he took Whitebeard's shock fruit from the top. Venom originally thought this was the dark fruit's ability, but after developing the dark fruit for so long, he didn't find anything strange about it. Dark fruit does not seem to give the Esper the ability to carry 2 devil fruits. Therefore, the plan of letting Khalifa own 2 devil fruits was abandoned. Thunder fruit and dark fruit. It can be said to be very powerful. Venom is looking forward to the new parasite, and Venom estimates that the reason Blackbeard can carry 2 devil fruits is related to his alien physique. The Blackbeard who never sleeps. He seems to have extraordinary energy. Judging from the 3 skulls and 8 outwardly expanding bones of the Blackbeard pirate flag, does it mean that the representative animal of Blackbeard is an octopus, with 8 claws and 3 hearts? Is it possible to carry 2 or even 3 devil fruits in one body? After all, Venom also heard a legend. According to legend, what Nika, the tree-planting elf and sun god, hates most is octopus. Monkey D. Luffy, Marshall D. Teach. Is there also fatalism involved? But it doesn't matter. The pirate group has only a few people to recruit. Menman Fruit. That's right. Boss, we can definitely put the Nefertari, a partner with low combat power, into the Menman space. This way, we can fight to our heart's content. The Menman fruit is so powerful. Canis, a person with gate fruit abilities, couldn't help but blush when he heard everyone talking about his abilities. And hearing that for her own safety, Nami chose to escape into space. The mood of strong recognition of the team immediately occupied the whole body and mind. Canis also made a decision secretly in his heart. I will definitely let the Menman fruit play its greatest role in the future. Used to help fellow shipmates and residents of Sky Island. Okay, take it one step at a time. Maybe the opponent is vulnerable, Venom said with a smile. Slowly, the Nefertari and the warship are getting closer and closer. When it was about to approach the water, the Sky Island octopus released its sucker and the Nefertari fell to the sea. As soon as the Sky Island octopus took a breath, it suddenly felt its body light up and floated towards the sky. It has completed its mission, and now it is time to go back and receive the reward from the store owner. Goodbye, big octopus, Nami thought of the sky and waved. The Sky Island journey is over, very happy. The girl group is very happy. But the Sky Island octopus didn't care so much and left without looking back. Soon, the Nefertari and the warship are getting closer and closer. Additional Vice Admiral, Guion Vice Admiral, it's the Venom pirates. The lookout warned loudly. After hearing the reminder, Guion immediately became nervous. No, it is indeed them. Contact the 3 admirals quickly. Tell them the location. After Guion gave the order, the marine soldiers took action immediately. 3 signals were sent in 3 directions at once. At this moment, Guion was extremely nervous. She knew that Venom was definitely not a good person. That is an existence that can defeat Marine Admiral. You must not take it lightly. Hey, Guion, there's no need to be so nervous. You and I are not demon fruit power, this is the sea. This is our home court. How about you marry me after I capture Venom? The T-Dolphin took a figure-footed step, put his hands in his pockets, and suggested to Guion. Guion felt upset, too lazy to say one more word. Roll, and at this time, Venom's observation hockey has already covered which warship is in Guion. Certainly, what Guion saw hockey saw everything on the Venom ship at the same time. Khalifa, it turns out that everything was true. After seeing that figure, Guion bit his lip unconsciously. Guion is a soldier of Naval Headquarters. Khalifa is a CP9 agent belonging to the Mariajoy Force. Although she didn't have much interaction with Khalifa, the two were considered acquaintances. He never expected that when Guion saw Khalifa again, she would already be a member of a pirate group. This place is outrageous. How could she do that? Moreover, under the observation of Guion, the way Khalifa looked at Venom was full of admiration. Guion really doesn't understand. If it was Mary Chowya's trick and Khalifa was just an undercover agent, it would be impossible for him to show such admiring looks. Secondly, if Khalifa was forced to board the ship, the expression in his eyes should be one of hatred. However, it's only been more than a month. Khalifa is completely in a daze. She looked at Venom with such admiration. This look. Seems like I've seen it somewhere. By the way, it's the same way Cha-Ji looks at him. Oh my god. Guion instantly felt that his worldview had collapsed. After taking a deep breath, Guion finally calmed down. Now, she has to face the Venom pirates. Marine 3 Admiral hasn't arrived yet, so he must be careful. There was no other expression upon seeing Momoshiki. The marine soldier next to him asked, Momoshiki Vice Admiral, are we going to bombard the other side? According to observation, the other side's ship is not filled with artillery like other pirate ships. Nodded. Guion directly recognized this request. For Marines with Grandmaster Naval Warfare technology, after encountering pirates, it is the basic greeting etiquette to fire directly. It is normal to use artillery to bombard first. The next second, boom boom boom, the sound of huge artillery fire rang continuously. The sea boiled instantly. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.